Wayne Brooksby now takes advantage of a slip from Pete. Brooksby towards the edge of the area, cuts in field, takes a shot from distance. It's there! Wayne Brooksby with the left boot hits the bottom right-hand corner, and the former Ferriby man comes back to haunt the side that he once played for.
Good afternoon and welcome to Guiseley Radio, where this afternoon we are at Sincil Bank, home of Lincoln City FC, for yet another away day for the Lions in the Vanarama National League. Now, Guiseley are unbeaten in this calendar year, having recorded a 2-1 win over Dulwich Hamlet, a 1-1 draw with Grimsby, and last week's only their second away win of the season against Kidderminster Harriers, whereas Lincoln are on a bit of a downer at the moment, having lost 4 of the last 5 games. Lincoln, of course, nicknamed the Imps. Let's see if the Lions can be impish enough to steal away with all 3 points this afternoon. We shall see. We'll have full match commentary with Colin Robertson and Chris Bell this afternoon. We're also on Guiseley Radio. At Guiseley Radio, tweet us your thoughts ahead of this one.
Brooksby now on the edge of the 18-yard box, comes charging in, plays the ball across the face of goal. Put into the back of the net, and it's Adam Boys who has scored Guiseley's third. The Lions are in dreamland this evening.
Good afternoon, welcome to Guiseley Radio. My name's David Kendra, and we are here all afternoon for this afternoon's vital Vanarama National League clash with Lincoln City FC. We're stuck up here, I say stuck up here, we're placed up here in a rather cosy press box at the back of Sincil Bank's main stand, and we're watching the teams warm up as we speak. I'm joined this afternoon by Chris Bell, who's going to help us build up to today's game. Chris, how are you feeling about today's game?
It's going to be an interesting contest. I think you look at this, and Guiseley unbeaten start to 2016. Lincoln, I think they haven't won since late November. It's an awful run of games really from their point of view. So from Guiseley's perspective, on the back of that win at Kidderminster last week, the way form goes, Guiseley have got a fancy getting something here today.
Certainly, Guiseley are going into this on a wave of confidence after what was a hard-fought 3 points against Kidderminster last week.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it wasn't as it probably wasn't as easy, perhaps, as you would have thought. Look, going to a side of the drift as they are, without wanting to sound harsh. And to be fair to Kidderminster, they didn't play like a bottom of the league side. I thought, for me, if they'd have had that side that they put out last week earlier on in the season, they probably wouldn't be in the mess that they're in now, or not as much of it by a long shot. So it was a hard-fought win. Dicko comes off the bench, gets the winner. He was delighted with that. We'll hear from him later. As I say, full of confidence.
Really
So
excellent to see Liam Dickinson back amongst the goals as well. That'll do his confidence no end of good. And of course, to pick up what was only a second away win all season, what do Guiseley have to do to make that 3 away wins this season?
Score more goals than Lincoln, which at the moment I reckon is fairly simple to do, the way that Lincoln's form has been. We're speaking to one or two of the guys from Lincoln's media, and they've been shipping, in the words of them, awful goals. Simple, easy goals. And I say that there is the promise in there. We've seen, for example, James Hurst looking at the formation. He's going to be on that right wing again. He, for me, last week was excellent. We saw him in that role against Dulwich as well the week before, and he was superb. I'm really liking James Hurst in that more advanced role. I think he has a lot to offer. I think if he can get in on the right-hand side up against Lee Beavers, albeit up against Greg Tempest, there's a chance there for him to cause some problems.
Well, going after the game against Kidderminster Harriers, we spoke to the Guiseley manager, Mark Bauer, and asked him his thoughts on that performance.
Definitely all about the 3 points today. I didn't mind how they came. That's what we were coming for, and in the end, thankfully we did get it. And really, the start of the game was that we should have been out of sight by half an hour gone. Numerous glorious chances, goal bizarrely disallowed, and then the more the game went on, the more they came into it. But I thought we were really solid. I can't really, apart from the lad hits one from distance that hits the post, I can't really remember him making a chance. So pleased with the all-round performance. The one thing that we needed to put on it with a finishing touch, with a couple of finishes in the first half, which we didn't get. But nice to score a goal. With a set piece as well, which. Since Rob Atkinson's been injured, we've not really looked like scoring from, but James Hurst was unlucky with one for 10-15 minutes before, just past the post, and then Danny Hall gets a good flick on. Great delivery from Gavin Rothery, and Dicko finishes it brilliantly, coming off the bench, probably his first touch of the ball. So, these are the kind of wins you need. You come away from home and probably win. I think in the second half, it's fair to say that we won it a bit ugly, but you need that, to be resolute and strong and disciplined and well organised. I thought we were all those things today, and thankfully. Bit of quality with the corner, the delivery, flick on and finish wins us a game.
And you must be delighted with the fact that you made the substitution when you did, because as you say, Liam Dickinson scored almost with his first touch of the ball. What was your thinking behind the change at that point?
I think Boise had done such a good job. He'd run their two centre-halves ragged all afternoon, and I think his running had created the chances for other players in the first half, and just felt that little bit of change with Dicko coming on. I thought he did well when he came on last week at Dulwich. He's missed a bit of training this week, but came on and obviously the ball just falls to him and sticks it away really well. Turn around to Boise and see about 75 minutes and that chance drops to the lads 2 minutes after you come on. But no, pleased for all the lads, really. Pleased for Dicko that he gets his name on the score sheet, because he's done that, coming off the bench for us quite a few times this season, and then at the end there, keeping the ball for us well in the corner, bringing it down and running the clock down. It's massive and really important when you're away from home and they're wanting to put you under pressure for those last few minutes.
Was there any stage you wondered whether we were going to regret missing those early chances?
Yeah. When the ball's flying towards your goal, or when the lad hit the shot that hit the post, you're certainly regretting that. And been there before. We said at half time, we've played well, but no two halves of football are ever the same. They're going to come out and they're going to have a go at you. They've sort of weathered the storm, so to speak, and they're going to fancy the chance of nicking a goal, and they nearly did with the shot that hit the post. But I thought we felt, apart from that, and it's a shot from distance. If he sticks it in the top corner, you almost hold your hands up and say, "Well played, lad." But no, we felt comfortable and always felt we had that threat to go and score a goal ourselves. And in the second half, even though they probably had more ball, we had the two best chances, and just pleased to get the win and go home with the 3 points, because we've had some bad luck. We're on a massive run of away games, which is, I've never known anything like it. But you go back, probably unlucky not to get anything at Aldershot. A shocking decision costs a goal at Halifax and a win there. Got a great point at Grimsby and a win today, so we've not done too bad from. I think this is now our 5th away league game in a row. 3 or 4 more to come before we get back to home. But certainly needed the win today from this fixture, just to take, build that gap again and just take a little bit of pressure off going into 2 tough league games away at Woking and Lincoln.
You've not been blessed with injury problems this season. There's been quite a few of them, and again Oliver Norburn went off in the first half. What's the prognosis earlier doors on that?
Just felt a real tightening right at the top of his hamstring, and he couldn't extend his leg properly and run properly anymore. So the obvious change was to get Will on. We made a little change in there today. Felt with the way we knew they'd played, we had a bit of report on them from last week when they played a game against Aston Villa, that they'd try and use that space between midfield and the centre halves with the 3 that played in there, and playing Norburn and Bosch in there, just tried to nullify that threat. Thought it worked well for us, and we looked dangerous on the counter attack and when we had the ball. So it's just as we're getting some back, we lose another one, but I don't think it was too bad. I think he got off in time, and obviously we'll have a look at him this week and try and get him back as soon as we can.
It's great, 2 back-to-back away wins. It's unique for us this season, and like you say, we're in this run of very tough away fixtures, and again it's another tough one, isn't it? Lincoln City next Saturday.
Yeah, it's a tough one. They were very well organised, disciplined and effective when they played us at our place earlier in the season. But no, it's one of those. I think when we've gone to the bigger clubs, your Grimsby's and sort of bigger stages, Wrexham. I think the lads have really grown into the surroundings, and Lincoln's, football league ground really. Decent setup there, and hopefully we can go there and enjoy the game and put them under pressure and go to win it. They'll be the team under pressure. I think they've lost again today, and I don't think they're in the greatest of runs either. So it'll be a little bit on them. Our win today just takes that little bit of edge off us, so lads can go and play with freedom, and if we play with the organisation and discipline that we've shown over the past few weeks. You look at Grimsby, how well we looked there. Thought we looked good last week at Dulwich, and today, when we played well with the ball, we looked like we could create chances, and probably should have had a few goals, and then when we were under pressure ourselves, looked really solid and restricted them to very little. So that's what we've got to go to Lincoln and do, and we'll look forward to the game. Have a good week this week. Try and get a game for a couple of lads that are coming back from injury. Get them, pushing, knocking on the door again, and yeah, look forward to hopefully we can go and get another good result at Lincoln.
Finally, it's your birthday today. Does that result provide you with a perfect present?
Yeah, I can enjoy a beer and a steak tonight, I think. So yeah, it's they come around too fast these days, Colin, and the beard certainly got a lot more grey in it than this time last year. So no, it's a nice win for the lads. I'll get them a few beers for the bus on the way home, and like last week, it's really enjoyable trip back when you've won away from home on a long trip, and tonight will be no different. Lads can enjoy it. That's what it's all about. We're here to enjoy playing and enjoy winning games, and yeah, we'll enjoy the weekend, but back to business during the week and get ready for Lincoln.
Mark Bauer, after the 1-0 win at Kidderminster Harriers last week, he sounded like a man with a weight lifted off his shoulders, and a very happy birthday for last weekend. Mark, I hope he enjoyed that beer and the steak. Well, the stakes were certainly high, weren't they, Chris?
I was about to say he's a man after my own heart, celebrating with a beer and a steak.
Well, let's move on to today. It was an excellent win last week, but let's move on to today. We've got the teams in. Chris, would you take us through today's Guiseley team?
The Guiseley side line up as follows: Stephen Drench in goal, then Ryan Toulson, Danny Lowe, Jake Lawler, Danny Boschel, Adam Boys, Danny Hall, Will Hatfield, Rob Atkinson, Anthony Dudley and James Hurst. On the bench, Ben Parker, Adam Lockwood, Liam Dickinson, Nicky Boschel and Dan Atkinson.
So we think it's going to be a 4-2-3-1 formation. Obviously, we've lost Oliver Norburn. He limped off last week, but good to see that at least we've got Danny Boschel and Will Hatfield, who played very well in that second half against Kidderminster.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they came. Bosch came on, did a job, did what he had to do. Obviously, the downside of losing Norburn is you've that goal threat that we know he's capable of with the special strikes he can hit. But they'll come in, they'll do a job, and I'm sure they'll be solid enough today.
And what about Lincoln City, Chris?
It looks like a 4-2-3-1 as well. Same formation. They line up as follows: Paul Farman, Bradley Wood, Greg Tempest, Craig Stanley, Chris Bush, Jack Muldoon, Alan Power, Terry Hawkridge, Lee Beavers, James McComb and James Caton. On the bench, Luke Waterfall, Conor Robinson, Robbie McDade, Matt Sparrow and Aidan Grant.
Now there's a lot of excitement around Sincil Bank today for the return of Jamie McComb. Perhaps you can tell us something about him.
Yeah, he's one of the centre-half pairing really when under the Keith Alex. Just to inform you, Dave is now mocking me slightly. No, Jamie McComb was one of the centre-half pairings that was successful for Lincoln under the Keith Alexander years, when it was him and Gareth McCauley as a pairing. So there's been a lot of excitement in the last couple of days following his return.
And of course, excitement's been in short supply here at Sincil Bank for Lincoln City of late. Lost 4 out of the last 5, drawn the other game. So confidence is a bit low, and Chris Moyes is a bit under pressure today.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like we were saying on the way down. To be fair, Lincoln haven't won in 11 games, and in any other situation, bar the Lincoln job, a lot of pressure will be put on him. And I think it is. I think for him, signing Jamie McComb is a bit of respite from that actually, because it's got the fans excited again. You don't really get that often about centre half, but in this case, that certainly seems to be it. From Lincoln's point of view, though, without Matt Reid, and that is the big loss. 16 goals this season. So he's out with a reported groin stain. That is going to be a massive boost for Mark, to be honest, and one less danger that guys who would have been worried about beforehand.
Matt Reid, of course, a big loss for Lincoln City. Well, after the Kidderminster game, we also spoke to another player who's been playing very well for Guiseley of late, James Hurst.
I'm joined by James Hurst after Guiseley's 1-0 win at Kidderminster. James, 3 points on the road for only the second time for Guiseley this season.
Yeah, it was a good win. The lads dug in at times. I think we had spells in both halves. The first 20 minutes of both halves where we was on top, and then sort of the last 15 minutes of both halves we were kind of weathering the storm and sucking up pressure, but we dealt with it well and defended set pieces well, and luckily come out with a win.
To come to a place like Kidderminster, of course, they're in a wretched season, but in a situation where they had a lot of new faces, haven't played a game for the last 4 weeks, so scouting's been difficult. What were you expecting of them? Did you know much of what you were expecting beforehand?
Well, yeah, just like the gaffer said, there was a bit of an unknown quantity about what was going to happen today. But you see it in all football: new management, new players. Everyone's got something to prove, and that little percentage of work rate and desire goes up a few notches. So you know it's going to be a tough game, and it was. And luckily we got a good finish with Dicko at the end, and that was enough.
How important was it today to get away with 3 points? Because obviously before today, only 4 points with a drop. That has extended now to 7.
Definitely, of course. When you're lingering down there, to get a win is huge. And if you get successive wins and you stay unbeaten for 2, 3, 4 in a row, it does start to open up a gap, and that's what we've done now. So if we can extend that to stay unbeaten now for at least, well, as long as we can, it's gonna help. 4 points from the first 2 league games 2016, plus the win at Dulwich. It's an unbeaten start to the year so far. Can that continue, do you think, when we go to Lincoln next Saturday? Why not? And it's not like we've rolled teams over. We've really dug in. We've really dug in to get those points, and I think it shows the spirit in the squad. And maybe if we add a little bit of magic from the players that need to produce a bit of magic, we can start rolling teams over, because we can got that digging quality as well. So
going forward away at Lincoln, it isn't going to be an easy game to go to, but they've been on a pouring form themselves of late.
Absolutely, yeah. I played Lincoln early in the season, and they're an experienced side, and they know how to win games. They know how to dig in, just like we've been doing recently. They've got probably an average age, I don't know, probably over 25 at least anyway. So they know what they're doing, so it's going to be a tough game.
James Hurst there after the 1-0 win away at Kidderminster last week. Talking about the players who need to produce a bit of magic. One player who did produce a bit of magic towards the end of that performance against Kidderminster was Liam Dickinson, and we also caught up with him.
I'm joined by Liam Dickinson after Guiseley's 1-0 win away at Kidderminster Harriers. Liam, we had to dig in at times, but we've come away with all 3 points.
Yeah, it was a great effort from the lads today. We know it wasn't going to be easy. Kidderminster bottom of the league, but they're usually the hardest games because they're fighting for survival. And we came in knowing that they were going to give us a good game, and it's going to be a tough outfit today. So glad for the 3 points.
At half time, we probably should have been ahead with the half chance and the opportunities we had, but to be fair to Kidderminster, their keeper had a blind in the first half.
Yeah, he did. He played really well. Like I say, Boyes' goal got flagged for offside. Not sure if it was or not, but we should have took our chances. We had a few chances in the first half we should have took, but as long as we create chances, we're always going to score.
And talking about taking chances for you, I think we worked out it was your second touch of the game before
I think it was. It was just right place at the right time. Managed to get swimmy right foot here, and it's gone in. But like I say, if we get enough chances, we're always going to score goals.
And for you to obviously come off the bench as well, and how important is that for you to come up and make an impact in the way you want to?
It's extremely important. I think it's more important for the subs because you're not on the pitch as long. And it's frustrating at times, but the likes of me and the rest of the subs, we've got to be as professional as possible, and we've got to work at our hardest when we're on the pitch, and try and impress. But it's a catch-22. Sometimes you're trying too hard, so it's got to be that balance. But I'm delighted with my goal today, and delighted to get the 3 points.
And as I say, 3 points, guys, is just the second away win of the season. Important to get another win on the road.
Definitely, every win's important, whether it's home or away. But we're confident when we play home and away. We're confident we can beat the bottom teams, the top teams. We went to Grimsby and we put in a great performance there, and we're lucky to take all 3 points. So it doesn't matter where we play. We're confident we can win.
And next week we go to Lincoln, a side that are very much out of form at the moment.
It means nothing. In my eyes, it means nothing. They can be out of form and then they can play top of the league and win 5-0. It's how you play on the day, and if we take it game by game, I'm sure we'll do well.
Liam Dickinson, the scorer of the winning goal last week in what was Guiseley's only second away win of the season. So as we draw ever closer to kick-off here at Sincil Bank, just a quick reminder, we'll have full live match commentary with Colin Robertson and Chris Bell coming up, but you can tweet us also at Guiseley Radio, and if you're of a mind, we have live match updates at Guiseley AFC as well. Feel free to tweet us with your thoughts as we go through today's game. Now the teams are just getting ready to come onto the pitch. We've got the mascots and the flag and the imp that's ready to go. Are the Guiseley team ready to go?
I would hope so. I think Mark would have got them fired up. As I said before, the form that Lincoln are in, Mark must have told them that they are there for the taking, quite frankly. You know, don't get me wrong, I don't think we're going to go all guns blazing. We'll probably ease his way into it. But there is a chance for, if we get on top, for us to cause a lot of problems and get 3 points.
This is one of those dauntingly tempting, winnable games, isn't it? We've now started.
There you go on form alone.
If you go on form alone,
Absolutely.
It is a winnable match for Guiseley. So we will hope for the best, and certainly an undefeated start to the calendar year puts Guiseley in the best possible position. And Chris Moyses, of course, will be feeling a little bit of the pressure. There's the even Guiseley factor that's come into play a lot this season. Of course, Neil Aspin lost his job not long after losing to Guiseley. Darren Edmondson of Barrow lost his job not long after losing to Guiseley. Chris Moyses has got to be looking over his shoulder a little.
Yeah, the pressure's on. There's no doubts about that. You know, he's quite in the press recently and stayed strong and firm. You know, he's not going anywhere, kind of thing. To be fair to him, I don't think he's doing it for a great deal of a wage either, because how he became on the club's manager. He was a director beforehand. It's all rather unusual circumstances, to be honest. The fact that he was on the board of directors and then became the manager. This is the only example, frankly, I can think of where I've seen that happen. So, the pressure's on. It is on all football managers, and as I said before, pressure's always going to be on when you haven't won in 11 games. You haven't won since start of December, end of November, I think was the last win for the Imps. So they need to do something.
Well, he'll be looking for a reaction from his Lincoln City side. Mark Bauer will be looking for the Lions to keep this winning run going. Obviously, next week we face Dover in the FA Trophy, a long trip down to the south coast for that one. It'll be an important game also, but this is a really vital 3 points that Guiseley would be vital. One more step towards safety in the Vanarama National League.
Yeah, absolutely. We need as many points on the board as possible in our situation. We need to be able to fight for it, a little bit Kung Fu style.
Well, we'll be hoping we'll be Kung Fu fighting all. No, we won't be Kung Fu fighting, because that in any interpretation of the rules is a straight red. But we're hoping for a goal. I personally am hoping for a goal from Adam Boyes today. He's worked very, very hard in the last few games and just hasn't quite managed to apply the finishing touch. He worked himself into the ground for the 70 minutes he was on against Kidderminster, and he'll have looked at that winning goal that Liam Dickinson scored and thought, well, that should have been me.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm getting a little bit bored of saying, he's done well though, he's put a really good shift in. I want to be saying Adam Boyes done really well there, he's added to his goals tally, because he's on 4 for the season. For a man that got 24 goals last year, admittedly this is a big step up as everybody around the club is learning, to be honest. But he'll be bitterly disappointed to only have the 4 for the season after such a successful campaign last year.
Well, the man set himself a 20-goal target, so he's still got time. There's still enough games for him. He can start with a hat-trick today, and that's going to take a big lump off that goals tally target. We're still waiting for the teams to arrive here at Sincil Bank. I can tell you now, there's some cheerleaders waiting by the tunnel, and I'm not going to lie to you, they look a bit cold.
It's very, very breezy.
It's not really the weather for cheerleaders. Bless them, they're doing their best.
It is very, very cold today. That wind is bracing, I think was the word Colin used on the way down earlier.
It is bracing, but it is quite flat around these here parts. There's not many hills to block the wind. The Guiseley fans are in place. Well, the Guiseley fans are in place, the Chris Bell is in place, and the Colin Robertson is in place. And we'll start live match commentary, as I say, with Chris Bell and Colin Robertson.
Thank you, Dave. As we just get the kit sorted out and the microphones and the headphones in the right place up here in the very tall stand here at Lincoln City at Sincil Bank, a great stadium nestling in the heart of the city. You can see to your right outside of the perspex of this main stand here the glorious cathedral away to our right, and it's a beautiful day for football, bracingly cold but clear skies and what looks like a decent surface down below for these two sides to use this afternoon and do battle. So welcome here to Sincil Bank for the big Vanarama National game between the Lions and Lincoln City. It's Guiseley here looking for another victory to continue their good start to 2016. It's Lincoln City versus Guiseley AFC. So Chris,
This is, you've been talking all the way through the build-up just about how important this game is for the both sides. Players just seem to be held up in the tunnel for the moment. But today is a great opportunity, isn't it, for Guiseley to get another 3 points in the bag. Perhaps there are a few times to come to a ground like this, to a team like this, and think, you know what, we can do this today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've said before in the season that we haven't had that standout scalp, have we, on the road? You look at, for example, Boreham Wood, they got that win at Tranmere very early in the season. We haven't had that kind of scalp at an established league side, really, and this would be it. This would be it.
Well, the two sides now coming out, Guiseley and Lincoln City. So let's just go through the two times one more time. For the home side, Paul Farman, the goalkeeper, Bradley Wood, Greg Tempest, Craig Stanley, Chris Bush, Jack Muldoon, Alan Power, Terry Hawkridge, Lee Beavers, Jamie McComb and James Caton. Two players who've joined during the week for Lincoln City as they look to bolster the side. No place for Reed, the top scorer today. Luke Waterfall, Connor Robinson, Robbie McDade, Matt Sparrow and Aidan Grant on the bench. For the Lions, Steve Drench in goal, Ryan Tilson, Danny Lowe, Jake Lawler, Danny Boschel, Adam Boys, Danny Hall, Will Hatfield, Rob Atkinson, Anthony Dudley and James Hurst. On the bench, Ben Parker, Adam Lockwood, Liam Dickinson, Nicky Boschel and Dan Atkinson. Choosing to go with a substitute goalkeeper this week, Mark Bauer, after opting for 5 outfield players last weekend. The referee today is Carl Evans, who's going to be assisted by Sean Barry and Barry Lamb. And the fourth official today is James Turner. They're just coming out now and go through the last warm out. As you can probably gather, there's a decent crowd here for this afternoon's Vanarama National game. The Lions fans away to our right in the away stand. Good number have travelled down to Lincoln. And the referee just going through the coin toss. And there, alongside him, is Lincoln's rather unusual looking impish mascot. He's quite a character as we get ready for this game. So final thoughts ahead of this one, Chris?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting battle. You know, this is going to be two sides that are in completely contrasting runs of form. You've got Lincoln on the 11 games without a win. You've got Guiseley, who started 2016 unbeaten. The opportunity is there for Guiseley to take all 3 points. As I say, for Lincoln, they need to get something. They will look at this as a game that they should be winning, even on their run of form. And as we've mentioned earlier, the even Guiseley factor could come into play. You know, we've even lost to Guiseley. That's how bad things are. We say that in good humour, of course.
Well, it's true. I mean, they're not a recognised name in this division. I certainly imagine that most Lincoln City fans and most fans from different teams around the stadiums we visited this season have had that sort of reaction. You know, who are we? Where have we come from? No disrespect, but we will have that factor this afternoon. They finally decided to complete the coin toss. We're going to change ends, so Guiseley will be shooting from right to left with the home fans behind them in the first half. In their all-yellow strange kit? Away kit.
It's not that unusual.
It's quite straightforward, really. And Lincoln City in red and white stripes, black shorts and red socks. Guiseley about to get the game underway here. And even though there's no Matt Reed, there's surely plenty of danger in this Lincoln side. And Guiseley with the ball in left-back position, play it forward. It's gone straight to the back line and picked up by Chris Bush. The centre-half sends it long and upfield, where Guiseley are immediately forced into playing Rob Atkinson into the game, and he takes his first knock since returning from injury. So interesting 90 minutes ahead for Rob Atkinson. It was Cheltenham, wasn't it, when he last played, and we were beaten 5-0 on that occasion. He'd been an immense performer, hadn't he, up until that date, Chris? And it's great to see him back in that starting 11. Yeah,
it's absolutely unbelievable to think back that Cheltenham was the last time we saw Rob Atkinson play. You know, that was a long, long time ago. And it is great to see him back. And as long as he gets through unscathed, regardless of result, from his perspective, he'll be happy.
Ball up in the air at the moment towards Adam Boys, but beaten back only as far as Jake Lawler, but he plays it down the channels and there's no option there for him, and so Lincoln recover the ball, but well stepped up here by Danny Hall. Finds Danny Boschel in the middle of the park, the half of Lincoln Cities. half of the field. Guiseley still in possession. They play it up towards the 18-yard box. Bush gets a good foot through it and up to the front line. And down this left-hand side is Muldoon. Onto the left flank now as Lincoln City run at this Guiseley defence. Ryan Tilson having to put himself into a defensive shape. Eventually nodded behind from the cross by Terry Hawkridge by Rob Atkinson, and it's going to be Lincoln City's first corner of the game.
Well, a minute and a half in, and Rob Atkinson's already been involved quite a bit. Had to get his head onto that, but that is what is great with Rob Atkinson. He's the no-nonsense, head it, clear it type defender. On that occasion, has to put it behind for a corner.
First goal of the game, and Gateshead are 1-0 up against Grimsby of the afternoon. 0-0 here. Corner for Lincoln City. The ball played into the box, into the 6-yard box, up to the back post, and it went beyond Rob Atkinson, but Lincoln still have it. They chip the ball back in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and then an acrobatic overhead effort inside the 6-yard box. Doesn't get flagged off for offside, I think, as everybody thought, and the referee just points for the goal kick. But it was Jack Muldoon who found himself clear in the 6-yard box, and there was no flag from the assistant on this near side.
Yeah, surprising, wasn't it? I think everybody was expecting it. It didn't happen. Jack Muldoon went for the spectacular. But it was surprising. The flag didn't go up.
So just 2.5 minutes gone in this game, still goalless. And there's also a goal in the Vanarama National North as Worcester City take the lead against North Ferriby United. Lincoln City on the attack again, coming down this left-hand side, trying to keep the ball in play. A good ball. Oh, well, actually, it was a poor ball behind. Goes behind for a goal kick.
It was one of those ones that it looked like it was going to be a cracking cross, but it just didn't come back in enough and ended up going behind.
So Guiseley having to weather a little bit of a storm in the first minute or so, as the Lions are just setting themselves for this goal kick. And Guiseley now having to get their players into position on the halfway line. The ball cleared by Stephen Drench. Goes up towards the edge of the centre circle, headed away, and then flicked back to the goalkeeper by Danny Lowe. Forward now, up towards Boys. Boys in a battle to try and win that ball, but McComb wins that one. And now there's a chance here for Muldoon to come down the right-hand side. Interception from the Lions, and the ball's helped away to the head of Hurst, but again, second to the battle. And Guiseley now battling in the centre circle, trying to win the ball. It's down this left-hand side. Tilson gets it out ahead of James Caton, the winger on loan from Shrewsbury, making a bright start to this game. And once again, Lincoln City have a chance with a throw about level with the 18-yard box on the left-hand side. It's in field here to Power. The block by Hurst, and eventually hoofed up towards the halfway line, goes out and into touch. And this is a bright start from the home side, and one that rather concerns Mark Bauer down here on the near side dugout, as he sees Guiseley digging in deep early doors.
Yeah, I mean, we've only got, just under 5 minutes gone, but it's a bright start from Lincoln. As I say, though, with their form, they've got to make a bright start against little old Guiseley.
Well, there's been talk, hasn't there, about just they haven't been being beaten. It's just that when they've been on top of games, they haven't perhaps put the games to bed, and they've conceded sloppy goals. And Guiseley are clearly going to face a tough task this afternoon. It's cleared. Now the ball's cleared, and Boys has managed to find a little bit of space on McComb. Gets into the area. Boys takes a shot, but he's sliding as he slips to take the effort on his left foot, and it goes behind for a goal kick. But Boys, just for a minute there, seemed to have the legs on Jamie McComb, but just couldn't continue the momentum, and McComb did enough to get back and put him off his stride, and the ball is out.
Yeah, well, Lincoln gaffer Chris Moises was absolutely furious then. He was expecting an offside flag to go up. It didn't. Boys got away from McComb, who, you know, he's 33. He's not going to have a great deal of pace about him, Jamie McComb. And Boys could certainly cause him problems with his pace. But he did actually say enough to get back and just put Adam Boys off.
Thrown out by Bradley Wood. Upfield now and headed on by Power. Nodded away by Danny Lowe, and then Danny Hall completes the clearance for Guiseley. Up into the Lincoln half, headed down by McComb, and now picked up here by Wood. Comes forward, but a crunching tackle in on him from Danny Lowe stops him in his tracks before Terry Hawkridge
takes over. Bush now for Lincoln City as they begin to string a few passes together in the middle of the park. On the halfway line, in towards Stanley. Stanley's ball is aimless and Guiseley recover possession, but an equally aimless ball from Will Hatfield gifts the home side with the ball once again. Power now over the top towards the feet of Muldoon, but intercepted first by Atkinson, but then it's in here from Caton from the left flank into the box as he picks up the ball on that side once again. Guiseley managed to deal with it and get it away into the Lincoln half, where boys will have to do a lot of work chasing it down, and in the end the ball goes back to the former Gateshead keeper Paul Farman, who lofts it clear, and it's nodded on by Atkinson. The home fans in good voice and encouraged by the performance they're seeing so far from Lincoln City, as Guiseley are scrapping away, trying to win the ball back here with Anthony Dudley just doing enough to take it from Bradley Wood. Danny Lowe will take this throw. Guiseley just in front of the dugout of Mark Bauer.
I think overall Mark will be relatively pleased with the way that they've been solid defensively so far.
Dudley now trying to turn Guiseley's fortunes by attacking down the left-hand side, but stopped in his tracks. And again, Guiseley are forced to play a defensive header away, but again, Lincoln City not making as much headway as perhaps they'd hoped. Danny Hall intercepting ahead of Muldoon, and now Guiseley come down the other end and they find a bit of space down this right-hand side. Hatfield's come forward, he's on the right flank, he's got boys in the box if he can find him, plays it up to the back post. McComb with a good header takes it away. There's a decent floated ball from Hatfield. Bottom the opportunity and almost covers the ball on that left flank. But, Lincoln hold firm, and despite an industrious challenge from Hatfield, they come away with the ball, and it's towards Caton on that left side before Hurst intercepts, and he sends a good one forward, and then Boys is bundled over on the edge of the 18-yard box, and there's a huge shout from Boys as he was pushed over. I think it was Bush who was the man who made the challenge. Boys looking across at the assistant, a referee not interested though, and it'll be interesting to see what Mark Bauer will say after that one, because Boys was through on goal and Bush leaned into him. Whether he was looking for it or whether it was a foul, it will be interesting to find out, but the net decision is that Lincoln City aren't penalised, and they come away with the ball down the right-hand side, and equally a robust challenge from Danny Lowe doesn't get penalised.
It's been a strong game so far, hasn't it, with the challenges.
Danny Lowe now making an interception, but good firm work there from Bradley Wood as he continues to press the ball down that right-hand side, and in the end it's rolled into the arms of Stephen Drench.
As regards Boyce's penalty claim, I don't think he has
a penalty. I don't think he would have been outside of the box. Yeah.
Either way, though, he didn't have the support of the yellow shirts around him. Nobody else was appealing for it, bar him and Mark Bauer.
Yeah, you didn't feel like there was a big claim, did you?
You didn't, did you? There was a few shouts from the away fans, but it, as you say, quite rightly, didn't really seem to be much of a big claim.
Now Guiseley have a throw on the right-hand side. It's into the box, headed away. Will Hatfield wins it back. Jake Lawler tidies it up, gives it back to Danny Lowe inside the centre circle, but Guiseley still have players forward. Danny Boschel makes a move down the left-hand side. Dudley on the ball, gives it to Lowe. Lowe floats it out of play, and rather disappointing end to that manoeuvre.
Yeah, neat little passing, but then just overhit the final ball there from the captain.
Couple of goals in the Vanarama National. Eastleigh 1, Wrexham 0, Braintree 1, Chester 0. Long time since Braintree have had a game on a Saturday afternoon at their ground. We know that feeling. Bolton 0, Leeds 1 in the FA Cup. Telford 0, Fylde 1. Lincoln now trying to make their way down the right-hand side. An unusual occasion where the two players collide and they get the ball caught in between each other's chest. In the end, the referee or the assistant on this near side gives the free kick Guiseley's way. But Lincoln fans feeling a little aggrieved by that. Stephen Dredge will come out to the left-back position to take this free kick. Not quite sure where the infringement was in that moment.
Well, this is the thing. It seemed to just be between the two players, but up in the air. So it was a case of the ball being held up between arms and chests. And in the end, you could probably have given it either way. So perhaps the fairer situation would have been to let play continue.
Boys battling for the ball up against McComb. McComb wins the header again. Into the centre circle where Ryan Toulson nods on, but Caton will win this one back for the home side, and Lincoln now pressed down there, and Ryan Toulson makes a late challenge on Caton. Free kick for Lincoln. That level with the edge of the centre circle on the left-hand touchline. Guiseley will have to set themselves. This ball no doubt will be floated into the box. I'll be talking no doubt about a moment when Adam Boyes went through on goal twice, well, two moments really. One, there was a claim for a free kick or a foul by Chris Bush, and the other one he just slipped as he set himself to shoot. But other than that, it's been some good spells from Lincoln City. As it is, guys, you have a throw inside their own half.
Yeah, hasn't had a great deal to do as yet. Stephen Drench, though. Lincoln, as you say, have had some decent spells of possession, but haven't tested Drench yet, which is what we like to see.
Flick on from Hurst inside the Lincoln half. It doesn't find its intended target, and now the home side can come away with the ball here, and Muldoon is stopped in his tracks well by Danny Lowe. And Power is also closing down and trying to keep the attacking momentum going, but Lowe is very calm. Gets the ball back to Stephen Drench. And Guiseley actually force Lincoln into putting the ball out to play inside their own half, and it's going to be a throw-in.
I think there's going to be quite an interesting battle down the left-hand side between Jack Muldoon and Danny Lowe in this game.
Throw-in now for Danny Lowe. Midway through the Lincoln half on the left flank. Plays it into the chest of Hurst. Hurst battles, tries to keep the ball going. He's beaten to it, though, by Bradley Wood, and in the end, in his eagerness to win the ball back, James Hurst commits a foul. And that'll be a free kick to Lincoln in right-back position.
Yeah, he just got his legs basically wrapped around the legs of Bradley Wood. A little bit too keen, perhaps, in that situation to try and get the ball back. What do we got? 15 gone. And a relatively even game so far, would you say, Colin?
It has been in the end. I thought Lincoln started very brightly, but we've settled a bit more into the game. Had a couple of half chances ourselves. But, Lincoln now with a free kick. Played long by Farman. Up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. I think that wind's probably playing a part in this game. Picked up now by Muldoon into the feet of Power. Power onto the left-hand side finds Caton. Caton now up against Toulson. Caton goes to the byline, gets the cross in. Swipe at the foot from Atkinson, gets the ball away, but only as far as the Loney, who shows a bit of trickery before Ryan Toulson puts in a good challenge, and it's out for a throw just up from the corner flag.
Yeah, strong but fair challenge on that occasion from Ryan Toulson, timed it to perfection.
Forget if you've got any comments for us, let us know at Guiseley Radio. Good to hear from you as we bring you this game. A brisk day in Lincoln. They get Bayern back under the way, and the home side get the ball in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Good work here from Wood, who crosses from the right-hand side brilliantly, and a great claim there from Stephen Drench on the edge of his 6-yard box. He came out off his line, leapt, and plucked the ball out from between two Lincoln strikers, looking to capitalise on a really good ball into the box from Bradley Wood.
Yeah, it was a great ball and an even better claim from Stephen Drench. As you say, there was Rob Atkinson in amongst that, as well as two Lincoln attackers, and he did so well to get a hold of that and to keep hold of it and not drop it as well.
Ball on this left-hand side now as the home side again pressed. It's another one into the box. Stephen Drench, who's playing into the low sun with a cap on, claims the ball again very confidently. No sign of uncertainty from the Guiseley goalkeeper in the face of the low sun, and these balls being whipped in from both flanks. Guiseley meanwhile managed to get the ball into the Lincoln half and earn a throw.
Yeah, it would be good to see Guiseley having a good spell of possession. As I say, we haven't had that too often so far. We weren't expected to be honest. But if we could get a bit of the passing game going that we are known for.
Danny Boschel with a thundering challenge in on Alan Power as Lincoln City win the ball back. But a good tackle comes in from Ryan Toulson, knocks the ball out again for another Lincoln throw. They're just beginning to enjoy a bit of a spell of possession and pressure. Throw on this left flank. It's chested down towards Caton, but Guiseley managed to force the ball away. Jake Lawler back in his central midfield role alongside Danny Boschel. A feature of last season's Vanarama National North playoff winning campaign, those two in that position, but they've not played too often since we've played in the National together. No Oliver Norburn, of course, who was injured last week. Will Hatfield playing more advanced role. Guiseley just waiting for this throw-in to be taken.
One thing I would love to know is how much does the absence of Matt Reid in the Lincoln lineup has affected Matt's plans, because obviously he would have been expecting Matt Reid to play like everybody was up until the team sheet was announced.
Adam Boyes now robbing the ball for Guiseley inside the Lincoln half. It's snuffed out though by McComb, and Bush eventually puts the ball out of play. Guiseley get a throw though, about level with the penalty spot on this left-hand side.
Yeah, it was a poor touch from Chris Bush. He just tried to take it away from Adam Boyes, just put too much on it, puts it out for what he'll consider to be a needless throw.
Now Guiseley down this left flank with Dudley. Dudley tries to earn Guiseley the throw by playing it off the heels of Wood, and does so. It's a throw just about level with the 6-yard box, which will be taken here by Lowe. Lowe looks for options. Boyes makes the run, but Lowe still unable to pick out his target man. He finds Hatfield in the end. Dinks the ball in here to Dudley, who's got 3 around him. Back into Hatfield. Guiseley struggling to find the angle for the cross. Danny Lowe eventually does. Difficult one. Finds James Hurst in the box. Back to goal. Takes control. Takes a shot on the reverse. It's just palmed past the post. Oh, it isn't, in fact. It's bobbled in front of Farm, and he lets it go behind. And it's a goal kick. But I thought for a moment he'd just done enough to tip it round the upright. But it's a goal kick.
I'm certain he tipped it.
No shout of a complaint, though, is there, on the field?
That's a very fair point, but it's, I mean, unless there must be a bubble there that we can't see that clearly, but it certainly seemed to be fingertipped round the post by Paul Farman.
Some goals again in the National North, which I'll read to you once I get my fingers free from the gloves that we need here this afternoon. Woking 0, Barrow 1, Cheltenham 1, Bromley 0, Eastleigh 1, Wrexham 1. Gainsborough 0, Bradford Park Avenue 1 in the National North, and FC United 0, Harrogate Town 1 in the North as well. Still scoreless here. Guiseley have a free kick which they take up towards Danny Lowe on the left-hand side of the Lincoln half. He nods on, runs away from Anthony Dudley and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, Bradley Wood was just shielding that one out of play as Dudley was looking to press.
Fairly tentative affair, isn't it? There's a lot at stake, I think, for Lincoln, obviously looking to end this woeful run of form that they've been on. And Guiseley, we've been on a decent little patch of form. A draw at Grimsby, victory in the FA Trophy, victory at Kidderminster last week. It's kind of like the extent of a winning streak in this division that we probably should reasonably expect of the side. But this afternoon, both sides know that there's 3 points that could be theirs. Atkinson now plays a long ball forward up towards Hurst. It's a good piece of control there until Hurst takes it away from Greg Tempest. He sort of dallied on the ball, then James Hurst has conceded the free kick, which seems a little bit soft from the referee, Carl Evans. And they try to take it quickly, Lincoln City, but it's quickly brought back by the referee. Not sure about that decision, Chris.
Yeah, as you say, it was a little bit soft. It was Greg Tempest who showed a great little bit of skill to turn and try to get away, but I'm with you on that one. I think it was a little bit too soft. But then what do I know? A bit of a dinosaur, really, mentality.
So it's a free kick to Lincoln City. It's on the halfway line, but all the players are set on the edge of the 18-yard box. It's going to go long, played long, headed on inside the box by McComb. Can't be controlled. Jake Lawler hikes it away. Adam Boyes battling with Bush on the halfway line to try and win possession for the Lions. Goes back to the goalkeeper. Farman now lofts it down the left-hand side. But again, a good header, this time from Atkinson. Finds the feet of Hatfield, but Hatfield's closed down. And then the ball out to the left-hand side is intercepted by Ryan Toulson. Bush now with the ball for Lincoln, plays it over the top, finds Muldoon on the edge of the 18-yard box, but the flag is up this time. Jack Muldoon, who found himself in the 6-yard box in the opening minutes and tried to produce an overhead acrobatic strike, probably thought he was offside and wasn't. On this occasion, he is, and it'll be a Guiseley free kick.
Yeah, he was just trying to get away from Danny Hall and Rob Atkinson a little bit too quickly. As you say, the flag goes up against him on this near side.
So away we go. Stephen Drench plays the ball up towards Hurst. Hurst's having a right old battle there up against Lee Beavers. He finds Hatfield, who's on that right flank. Hatfield being channeled by Tempest. Back to Hurst. Ball in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Interception comes in. Tilson battling to try and win it back, but good work here from Craig Stanley. Gets the ball away for Lincoln up to the halfway line. And the home side are trying to make some headway down that flank before being held up by Danny Boschel, industrious and closing down play. Still, Lincoln keep moving though, and they get the long ball up to Terry Hawkridge. Hawkridge plays a good ball out here to Caton, tackled though, and Tempest takes over. Back here now with Power. Alan Power onto the halfway line, finds McComb. And Bush now steps into the Lions half, plays the ball to the feet of Power, chipped into the box looking for Muldoon. Comes Stephen Drench, claims the ball, and the danger passes, but good defensive work against quite a patient passing build-up play there from Lincoln City.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just looking at the pitch as well, you can see how low that sun's moving and getting as well. Because at the start of play, the guys are on the attack here.
Yeah, Hurst gets the ball into the box and it whips across on the right-hand side. And it's gone beyond all of the striking too, and way out and out for a goal kick. But it was direct, wasn't it, really? It went down to find James Hurst on the right-hand side. The ball whipped into the box, and that quick-fire attacking movement that could undo Lincoln.
It is. You know, they're not the quickest at the back, and as we say, James Hurst getting over on that right-hand side, bit of space, made the run, played a decent ball across, but nobody gambled on it on that occasion. But as we were saying, yeah, you can see how the shadows across the penalty area that Stephen Drench is in now, just how much the sun has moved, almost to the point where he shouldn't need the cap for too much longer.
Meanwhile, free kick has just been, or a throw rather, just been given to Lincoln City just in front of the Guiseley dugout. In front of us in this main stand here. Lincoln take the ball quickly and they find Muldoon on the edge of the 18-yard box. He's bundled over by Atkinson. The ball falls through to Caton on that left-hand side. He takes a shot. Stephen Drench gets down, palms it past the upright, and it's behind for a corner kick to Lincoln City. It's a sort of half-hearted complaint of a foul by Atkinson on Muldoon, and a rather tame effort from Caton. Corner now for the home side, floated in towards the 6-yard box and headed over by Bush, and it'll go behind for another corner. The referee feels there was a deflection from Bush's initial header, so cross onto this right hand side, and Lincoln again have another corner, this time from the right hand side, just in front of the Guiseley fans. Away to our right, the ball whipped into the 6-yard box again, and it's headed into the back of the net. It's headed in, and I think it's Chris Bush who's the man who's picked up the ball this time on the back of the back post, and he powerfully had it down. Stephen Drench had tried to claim the ball and was off his line. The header then couldn't be cleared off the line by Lawler, and it's now Lincoln City 1, Guiseley 0.
Yeah, unusually for Stephen Drench on that occasion. He was caught in no man's land really as he came to look to come out and claim the cross. Didn't get near it, and there was Chris Bush, who had the headed chance just from the corner before, who had a relatively simple task. Lawler couldn't clear it off the line, and Lincoln City lead by a goal to 0.
Big task now for the Lions as they seek to come back from a goal down for the first time in 2016. The ball goes up towards Hurst on that right hand side. The Lions unable to win the ball though, and now it comes away down this right hand side here with Bradley Wood. Lincoln on their uppers after getting that early lead in this game. Danny Hall puts the ball out of play. Out for a throw.
There is hope for Guiseley though. Lincoln haven't been particularly good at home so far this season. They went ahead twice against Dover and threw it away to lose 3-2 a few weeks ago.
Now Guiseley again defending as they get the ball away from Ryan Toulson. Hatfield's flattened by the onrushing Tempest. And the ball's played up. Chris Bush, who manages to clear, but only finds Hurst on that right-hand side. Hurst is tackled. The ball goes back to the goalkeeper, Farman. Just wonder what Mark Bauer's thinking, because I'm pretty sure he was protesting that Bush should have been probably punished for being the last man on the challenge for boys earlier on, as Lincoln City press forward again. Stephen Drench managing to intercept and clear. I can see he'll feel pretty aggrieved that the man who committed that foul is on the pitch and able to head home from the corner. Now, here comes Hawkridge. Hawkridge cuts in field. Danny Lowe up against him. Hawkridge trying to thread the ball through to Muldoon, but a good interception from Danny Lowe, and he gets the ball away. It's only to hit touch, and it'll be a Lincoln City throw.
There's still a way back into what we got. We've only gone half an hour. A lot of football still to be played, and as we said, and guys, they've had the glimpses that they can create and cause problems, and when they break, like we saw James Hurst do earlier on, a better delivery and or a man gambling to get into the 6-yard box, and guys, they can get themselves a goal in this game.
Now Lincoln on the right-hand side. The ball blocked by Danny Lowe and out for a throw. It's now Woking 1, Barrow 2, and FC United 0, Harrogate Town 2 in the National North. 1-0, I'm afraid, here to Lincoln. And it's a throw for the home side as well. Bradley Wood's going to take this one. He's going to loft this one long into the box, and it's in towards the edge of the 6-yard box and flicked on by McComb, who was the intended target man. This time it's out for a goal kick. Mark Bauer, that Stringfellow, just stood on the edge of the 6-yard box there. On the edge of the 6-yard box, on the edge of the... no, if they were stood on the edge of the 6-yard box, it'd be interesting. On the edge of the dugout area. Really having to think about it, aren't they? I think there's something that's got to reconsider, is the aerial threat. Like you said about Lincoln City, it's not come from Matt Reid today. It's coming from James McComb, who's coming up from the back at key times.
Yeah, well, he's a big centre-half, and when you've got Bradley Wood who can throw the ball in like he can.
And they've got the ball down this left-hand side again. Lincoln into the box, trying to find power, but that time blocked and cleared. Guiseley having to do a bit of defending here as we had 14 minutes to go to the break. Power now for the home side, trying to find Caton, the winger. Gets the cross blocked by Toulson. Still the home side have the ball, and it's into the box now, headed away, picked up by Wood. Bradley Wood gets the header to the ball on the right hand side, chips into the box beyond everyone, and eventually it's helped away to Adam Boyes, picked up now by Hatfield. The interception comes in. Guiseley will get the throw. Again, it's that man McComb who intercepts at the key time. And those two new additions to the side, have certainly played their part in this opening half hour. McComb and Caton. And again, they come forward. A late lunge from Danny Hall. And I would think he'll go into the book here for that foul on Jack Muldoon. And Guiseley will concede the free kick. I mean, it's just a few yards from the edge of the centre circle, but it certainly was a poor time challenge there from Danny Hall. I think he knew that Muldoon had got away from him.
He's not going to get a booking here either, much to the frustration of the home fans. But as you say, it was poorly timed. Dare I say needless in that position as well. There was still a long way to go to get to the edge of the 18-yard box in that situation. And as I say, from behind, I'm surprised not to see a yellow card there for Danny Hall.
Yeah, he's
a lucky boy.
Not well received from the home fans. Now they've got a free kick though, Lincoln, and it's floated into the box up towards McComb. McComb's header doesn't go towards the goal. Guiseley have to battle to try and keep it in play, but they can't, and it's going to be another corner, this time on the right-hand side. The same side that they floated the ball in to find Chris Bush at the back post, who headed home to give Lincoln the lead a few moments ago. Guiseley having to do a lot of defending again now, as a free kick will come in from Tempest. Whipped in towards the back post, towards Bush once again. This time Atkinson makes sure the head is firm and clear. It's floated back in by Bradley Wood.
Just an optimistic shout of "it's in" from one Lincoln fan.
It was very comfortably claimed by Stephen Drench. It floated up in the outs. Never really going to threaten the goal, trust me. Jake Lawler now gets his foot on the ball in the halfway line. He plays it down the right channel towards Bush. James Hurst doesn't give the ball up, but Bush doesn't really make good on the clearance, and Guiseley have a throw. FC United 0, Harrogate Town 3 now in the north.
What a result that'll be for Harrogate.
Throw for Guiseley on the right hand side, picked up by Hurst. He's got two up against him. Hurst battling away, trying to keep the ball going. Does a good piece of footwork, gets the ball floated into box all the way towards the back post. Nobody attacking it. The goalkeeper, in fairness, probably saw the flight of the ball, and from this angle it looked like it was closer to the upright than perhaps it was, but it's gone out for a goal kick nonetheless.
Yeah, it was Danny Boschel was the man that was nearest to looking to try and get on the end of it. Didn't do so, but it was some great play from James Hurst on that right hand side. He had 2 or 3 red and white shirts around him, somehow managed to escape them all and delivered a decent cross in with his left. This is what I mean, the chances, the opportunities, if Guiseley can play their game like they have done in spells, you know, things can be created, the chances can come, and the goals could be there.
Floated ball forward from Hall from a free kick for offside. Up towards Boys. Boys manages to keep it going, but his ball towards Dudley isn't good enough. The ball is cleared. It's picked up now by Hatfield, though, under pressure, though, from Wood, who's played well in his opening half hour. There's a battle now going on right just in front of the corner flag, and in the end it's a throw-in for Lincoln. Just up from the corner flag. Tranmere 1, Torquay 0, and Braintree 2, Chester 0. Guiseley trailing by a goal to 0 here. Sincil Bank, as Lincoln City have the advantage thanks to a Chris Bush header on 27 minutes. The ball up in the air. Hatfield chips it forward. Nodded on by Lawler now as Guiseley tried to win possession in the middle of this Lincoln half, but it's just not working. And Lawler on the halfway line, and Boschel controlled temporarily. The ball goes forward, and Boys is penalised for jumping into McComb, and it's going to be a free kick to Lincoln.
I didn't see a great deal in that. Do you think McComb was jumping into Boys just as much as vice versa?
It's the experience, isn't it? I think that he's got that's managed to win that free kick. Guiseley now having to set themselves, because this one, although the goalkeeper's midway through his own half, it's clearly going to go long. Goes up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Headed on by Wood. It bounces awkwardly in the area. Caton's looking for it at the back post. It's nodded behind, and in the end it's going to be a corner to Lincoln City, and Guiseley really didn't cover themselves with the glory in defending that rather hopeful free kick forward, a punt upfield. Wood nodded on, and they did the thing that it really shouldn't do, was let the ball bounce in the area.
Yeah, it was a really good knock on from Bradley Wood. And as I say, didn't deal with that second ball.
Corner comes in towards a penalty spot. It's flicked on by Bush, and he had a great chance there if he could connect with it, because he'd managed to make himself free in the box. But instead he's put the ball wide, and it's behind for a goal kick. But Guiseley again just uncertain at the crossing, at the corners. And I think this is probably going to give Mark Bauer plenty of food for thought. After a bright start since going a goal behind, it just felt that Lincoln looked more likely to get a second before the break than we look to hold out as we are, or to get our way back into this game.
I think one of them instructions of the second half has got to be mark Chris Bush from corners. Because he's found himself free on 2 or 3 occasions out of the 4 or 5 corners we've had. You know, he's got 1 goal. And like we saw there, he was completely unmarked again. And don't get me wrong, 9 times out of 10, Chris Bush is not a goal threat. But from these positions, he very much is.
Hurst now wins the ball for Guiseley inside the Lincoln half. He's gone to the left-hand side from the right. Floats the ball in with a right foot drilled towards goal. It's comfortable for Farman, though, just to pat down and roll out here to the left-hand side. And Lincoln now urged forward by their home fans. Beavers finds Powitz out to this right-hand side now with Wood. Wood, the full-back, gives it to Hawkridge. Cross towards the back post, headed behind his goal by Ryan Toulson. It looked close enough to the upright to make you take a sharp intake of breath. This is going to be yet another Lincoln corner.
Yeah, Ryan Toulson there certainly put the fear of Christ knows what into them Guiseley fans behind the goal. As you say, from our angle, it looked very close towards an own goal. But again, these crosses seem to be causing more problems. Usually Guiseley aren't so bad at dealing with balls into the box.
This low sun, the corner from the left-hand side into the box, headed towards goal. It was McComb who made the connection with a header and once again managed to find himself free. You can't blame that on the low sun. Stephen Drench watched the flight of the ball well, claimed the ball, but the Lions not dealing with the corners at all well this afternoon, and as it stands, a goal behind. Ball's gone forward. They've got a throw inside the Lincoln half. Up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Taken down by Boys. 2 players on him. Has to go back. Toulson chips forward up towards Hatfield. Hatfield shows a bit of turn of pace. Goes in towards the byline. He's gone down to ground, but there's no free kick given. And none claimed, to be fair, and it's behind for a goal kick. But it's been like that for Guiseley, hasn't it? Just when you've seen a moment that we might be getting behind the defensive line, there's a slip or an overrunning of the ball and the danger passes.
Yeah, on that occasion I think Will Hatfield was really unlucky. I thought he'd done really, really well. Got in behind Greg Tempest. Tempest kept putting him under pressure. Hatfield went down. Referee thought about it before awarding the goal kick. So he certainly felt that Hatfield had just lost his footing.
Ball now with Lincoln City again inside the Guiseley half. Guiseley get a free kick as Boschel is bundled over, and we don't have an awful lot of time left before the break. We're about 39 minutes into this first half. Leeds are 2-0 up now in their FA Cup game. Huddersfield 1, Cardiff 1 in the Championship, and it's also Telford 1, Fylde 2. Fylde had led, Telford equalised, and then Fylde lead again. Free kick for Guiseley inside their own half, headed up towards Hurst, who seems to be the target man for most things, but it's repelled, and again Guiseley have to defend. Danny Boschel, this time bundled over on the halfway line. Another free kick for the Lions. This time perhaps Rob Atkinson and Jake Lawler can set themselves to go forward. Danny Hall also, as Guiseley can put some bodies forward and press this Lincoln backline aerially.
Yeah, it's a good position for Guiseley. Daniel Lowe's going to take this free kick. It's a high line though. Lincoln trying to play the offside.
Floated in from Lowe, up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Atkinson gets the ball knocked down towards Boys. Scrambled away by Bush. There's an offside flag as the returning striker, or the returning player, Craig Stanley, is penalised. Running back into his own half, which upsets some of the home fans. Guys, he can't take the free kick inside the Lincoln half, that's for sure, because it's an offside decision.
I don't know why people are getting quite so upset about that, because Jack Muldoon was, I've heard somebody just shout that he was in his own half. He wasn't. He was coming back from the opposition half, from Guiseley's half. And as it is, he was offside.
Drench floats the ball into the box, headed away. There's a flag up on the far side. Guiseley won't get the benefit of the doubt there, and there's an inquest because Hurst is saying, what? Who was that? And I must admit, I couldn't quite see from that angle who indeed would have been offside. That's very frustrating, though, to get yourself in an offside position from that set piece in that sort of situation.
It is, isn't it? I mean, what? 12 yards in from the touchline. This ball would nodded back in, and as you say, I'm a bit like James Hurst. Who was offside there?
No idea.
That shake of the head says it all, Colin.
No idea. Yes. Back to 2016 with a bump. This time the ball goes forward and there's another offside flag up against a Lincoln player. Referee's going to give another offside decision. And again, these must be very marginal ones because I must admit I couldn't quite see who the Lincoln player offside was on that occasion. I think there's a lot of...
there was 3 yellow shirts back in their line then, and I didn't see a red and white one behind it. So
a lot of moments, I think, where the striker's just playing off the shoulder or trying to get advance to the defender and then coming back to try and win the ball, and starting from an offside position. But Guiseley having to defend once again because they've played the ball forward and it's come immediately back and won brilliantly back down here on the right hand side, and Danny Hall has just taken out Jack Muller. It's floated in towards the back post and it almost finds the head of McComb once again, but Guiseley still haven't got it clear. McComb flicks it down, tries to take it, finds Bush inside the area. Bush, the centre half, could get his second. He blasts the ball and it's saved by Stephen Drench from close range, played back into the box. Guiseley have really struggled with the forward positions of McComb and Chris Bush, the 2 centre halves, when they pressed forward, and on those 2 instances they played more like strikers by getting the ball down on the deck and turning and spinning on the ball, and Lincoln still have it. They are on the left hand side now, pressing up against Ryan Tulson, floated in from Caton towards the back post, way ahead of Hawkridge and into the Guiseley fans behind the goal, but this isn't pretty watching, is it, from the Lions' perspective?
no, not at all. You know, as I said earlier on, we're generally really good at, you know, picking up from corners and good in the air as well to win headers. On this occasion, it's just not happening. As you say, Bush and McComb causing no end of problems. From Lincoln's perspective, they'll see this is another way of, you know, replacing the absent Matt Reid in the air.
Well, Guiseley now having to do some defending again as Muckledoon battles it on the centre circle, but a good tackle comes in from Jake Lawler, helped away by Lowe. It's the halfway line, and we're just waiting to see what time will be added. Mark Bauer just handing the ball to Bradley Wood, the fullback, for Lincoln's throw. I think there'll be 1 added minute of time. It's thrown in towards the edge of the 18-yard box, won by Jake Lawler. Hatfield now tries to clear. He's closed down, and it's good work from Terry Hawkridge to prevent the Lions from clearing their lines. Danny Lowe in left back position, plays the ball up to the halfway line, up towards Adam Boyes. Flicked on by Lowe, sent long. Boschel's the most advanced player. Bush, though, is ahead of him and nods the ball back to Paul Farman, the Lincoln goalkeeper. Still 1-0 to Lincoln into stoppage time here. Chris Bush, the centre half, who scored after 27 minutes from a corner, might have had another on 2 separate occasions. Denied by Stephen Drench and put a ball wide of the upright after finding himself clear in the penalty area. Guiseley haven't created an awful lot this first 45. A couple of opportunities when Adam Boyes broke free of the back line but slipped and arguably was bundled over by Bush on a separate occasion. But the break is here. The half-time whistle blows. At the break it is Lincoln City 1, Guiseley 0.
Well, there is still ways, I think, for Guiseley to get themselves back into this game. It's been an entertaining first half. However, we've got to tighten up from set pieces because Chris Bush and Jamie McComb, when they've come forward, the 2 Lincoln centre-backs, have on many occasions been given too much space and too much of an opportunity to cause problems. But as I say, you know, it's only 1 at the break. Lincoln on a poor run of form. There will be nerves in that side, and there is always that chance that they'll give this away.
Well, I think it's another factor to consider is this conditions today. There's been a low sun away to our left. There's been a problem, I think, for Stephen Drench and the defenders to deal with the problems or the issues of the ball into the box and the challenges that's presented to the goalkeeper and the back line on occasions. The cross field balls have certainly been difficult to clear, but really it's the defensive work, the getting the clearances in, the headers in, that has been a cause for concern. But of course that'll change in the second half when they change ends. But at half time we'll go through the half-time scores and give you an update on what's happening around the grounds and all the games that we're keeping tabs on. And with that, I will just hand you over to Dave Kendra.
Thanks, Colin. Certainly a frustrating first half there for the Lions. Certainly not the performance, perhaps defensively, we were hoping to see this afternoon. Certainly we've struggled to defend those corners that have come in, and disappointingly we've conceded a goal to one of them. But I think there's a lot to be hopeful about. A couple of times there's certainly James Hurst is making headway against that defence, and if we can get crosses into the box, then Boys does pose a threat. And as we go forward into the second half, as legs start to tire, that speed, that quick break might just be the difference for the Lions. We shall see. Colin, thank you. We'll be back with you in the second half along with Chris Bell. I'll go through some of the half-time scores in the Vanarama National League. Starting at the top, Aldershot 0, Kidderminster 0. Braintree are 2 up at home to Chester. Cheltenham 2, Bromley 0. Eastleigh 1, Wrexham 1. Forest Green 0, Macclesfield 0. That'd be an excellent point for Macclesfield. Gateshead 1, Grimsby 0. Halifax 0, Welling 0. Lincoln City 1, Guiseley 0 here. Tranmere are 1 up at home to Torquay, and Barrow are winning away at Woking, which would be a vital 3 points for the Cumbrians there. Going into the Vanarama National League North, there's one remarkable result which I'll get to in a second. Half-time score, I should say, rather than results. It's Alfreton 0, Nuneaton 0, Brackley 0, Solihull 0, Chorley 0, Tamworth 0, Gainsborough 0, Bradford Park Avenue 1, Hensford 0, Curzon Ashton 0, Lowestoft 0, Stalybridge Celtic 2, Telford 1, Fylde 2, Worcester 2, North Ferriby 0, and the most remarkable probably result of the day, Harrogate are away at FC United of Manchester, and they lead that one by 3 goals to 1. They were 3-0 up in 36 minutes there. That was a quite extraordinary away win for them. Looking at other scores today, Bristol City 0, Birmingham 0, Huddersfield 1, Cardiff 1, Rotherham 1, Charlton 2. That's in the Championship. Some are selected FA Cup scores. Leeds are 2-0 up away at Bolton, and Diagaraga has scored. I can tell you that now. He scored after 39 minutes. The man who never scores has struck for Leeds United. They lead Bolton by 2 goals to 0. Bolton, of course, winners in the last round over the last non-league side in the FA Cup, Eastleigh. Looking at some other scores, Tottenham beat Colchester 4-1 earlier today. Arsenal 1, Burnley 1, Villa 0, Man City 2, Bury 0, Hull 1, Crystal Palace 1, Stoke 0, Nottingham Forest 0, Watford 0, Oxford United 0, Blackburn 2, Portsmouth 1, Bournemouth 0, which would be a heck of a result on the south coast there. Portsmouth winning by a goal to 0 at the Premier League, boys. And Reading 2, Walsall 0, Shrewsbury 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1, and West Brom 1, Peterborough 0. Let's have a look at League 1, and Blackpool 1, Gillingham FC 0, Bradford 0, Fleetwood 0, Coventry 0, Scunthorpe United 1, Millwall 0, Crewe 0, Rochdale 2, Burton 0, Swindon 0, Barnsley 0, Wigan 2, Port Vale 0. 0 seems to be the prevailing scoreline this afternoon. It's what the Lions have here at half-time at Sincil Bank, but there's plenty of opportunity to get back in this game. We feel Lincoln are doing well, they're holding firm, but Guiseley are applying pressure. Moving into League 2 now, Accrington 0, Bristol Rovers 0, Crawley Town 0, Mansfield 0, Hartlepool are losing 1-0 at home to Exeter, Cambridge United winning 1-0 at Leyton Orient, Luton and Notts County is scoreless, Morecambe 0, Newport County 1, Plymouth 0, Wickham 1, Wimbledon 2, Yeovil 2 in what's turning out to be the game of the day in League 2. But the most surprising result of the day might be York winning at home at last, 1-0 up against Stevenage at half-time. Another what might be another incentive for Guiseley to stay in the National League is that York City might come down this season, so that next season we might well be we might have yet another derby game in the Vanarama National League. We've been treated to a display by cheerleaders here at Lincoln. Again, it's about 3 degrees here, so I don't envy them by any means having to dance about in the centre circle here. The Guiseley subs are warming up. We're going to take a short break, leave you with the interviews from last week's game against Kidderminster Harriers. We'll start with Mark Bauer, and here we go.
Definitely all about the 3 points today. I didn't mind how they came. That's what we were coming for, and in the end, thankfully we did get it. And really, the start of the game was that we should have been out of sight by half an hour gone. Numerous glorious chances, goal bizarrely disallowed, and then the more the game went on, the more they came into it. But I thought we were really, really solid. I can't really, apart from the lad hits one from distance that hits the post, I can't really remember him making a chance. So pleased with the all-round performance. The one thing that we needed to put on it with a finishing touch, with a couple of finishes in the first half, which we didn't get. But nice to score a goal. With a set piece as well, which. Since Rob Atkinson's been injured, we've not really looked like scoring from, but James Hurst was unlucky with one for 10-15 minutes before, just past the post, and then Danny Hall gets a good flick on. Great delivery from Gavin Rothery, and Dicko finishes it brilliantly, coming off the bench, probably his first touch of the ball. So, these are the kind of wins you need. You come away from home and probably win. I think in the second half, it's fair to say that we won it a bit ugly, but you need that, to be resolute and strong and disciplined and well organised. I thought we were all those things today, and thankfully. Bit of quality with the corner, the delivery, flick on and finish wins us the game.
And you must be delighted with the fact that you made the substitution when you did, because as you say, Liam Dickinson scored almost with his first touch of the ball. What was your thinking behind the change at that point?
I think Boise had done such a good job. He'd run their two centre-halves ragged all afternoon, and I think his running had created the chances for other players in the first half, and just felt that little bit of change with Dicko coming on. I thought he did well when he came on last week at Dulwich. He's missed a bit of training this week, but came on and obviously the ball just falls to him and sticks it away really well. Turn around to Boise and see about 75 minutes and that chance drops to the lads 2 minutes after you come on. But no, pleased for all the lads, really pleased for Dicko that he gets his name on the score sheet, because he's done that coming off the bench for us quite a few times this season, and then at the end there keeping the ball for us well in the corner, bringing it down and running the clock down. It's massive and really important when you're away from home and they're wanting to put you under pressure for those last few minutes.
Is there any stage you wondered whether we were going to regret missing those early chances?
Yeah, when the ball's flying towards your goal, when the lad hit the shot that hit the post, you're certainly regretting that. And been there before, we said at half time, we've played well, but no two halves of football are ever the same. They're going to come out and they're going to have a go at you. They've sort of weathered the storm, so to speak, and they're going to fancy the chance of nicking a goal, and they nearly did with the shot that hit the post. But I thought we felt, apart from that, and it's a shot from distance. If he sticks it in the top corner, you almost hold your hands up and say, "Well played, lad." But no, we felt comfortable and always felt we had that threat to go and score a goal ourselves. And in the second half, even though they probably had more ball, we had the two best chances, and just pleased to get the win and go home with the 3 points, because we've had some bad luck. We're on a massive run of away games, which is, I've never known anything like it, but you go back through them, probably unlucky not to get anything at Aldershot. A shocking decision costs a goal at Halifax and a win there. Got a great point at Grimsby and a win today, so we've not done too bad from, I think this is now our 5th away league game in a row. 3 or 4 more to come before we get back to home, but certainly needed the win today from this fixture just to take, build that gap again and just take a little bit of pressure off going into 2 tough league games away at Woking and Lincoln.
You've not been blessed with injury problems this season. There's been quite a few of them, and again Oliver Norburn went off in the first half. What's prognosis earlier doors on that? Just
felt a real tightening right at the top of his hamstring, and he couldn't extend his leg properly and run properly anymore. So the obvious change was to get Will on. We made a little change in there today. Felt with the way we knew they'd played, we had a bit of a report on them from last week when they played a game against Aston Villa that they try and use that space between midfield and the centre halves with the three that played in there, and playing Norburn and Bosch in there, just tried to nullify that threat. Thought it worked well for us, and we looked dangerous on the counter attack and when we had the ball. So it's just as we're getting some back, we lose another one, but I don't think it was too bad. I think he got off in time, and obviously we'll have a look at him this week and try and get him back as soon as we can.
It's great. 2 back-to-back away wins is unique for us this season, and like you say, we're in this run of very tough away fixtures, and again it's another tough one, isn't it? Lincoln City next Saturday.
Yeah, it's a tough one. They were very well organised, disciplined and effective when they played us at our place earlier in the season. But no, it's one of those. I think when we've gone to the bigger clubs, your Grimsby's and sort of bigger stages, Wrexham. I think the lads have really grown into the surroundings, and Lincoln's, football league ground really. Decent setup there, and hopefully we can go there and enjoy the game and put them under pressure and go to win it. They'll be the team under pressure. I think they've lost again today, and I don't think they're in the greatest of runs either, so be a little bit of pressure on them. Our win today just takes that little bit of edge off us, so lads can go and play with freedom, and if we play with the organisation and discipline that we've shown over the past few weeks. You look at Grimsby, how well we looked there. I thought we looked good last week at Dulwich, and today when we played well with the ball, we looked like we could create chances, and probably should have had a few goals, and then when we were under pressure ourselves, looked really solid and restricted them to very little. So that's what we've got to go to Lincoln and do, and we'll look forward to the game. Have a good week this week, try and get a game for a couple of lads that are coming back from injury, get them pushing, knocking on the door again, and look forward to hopefully we can go and get another good result at Lincoln.
Finally, it's your birthday today. Does that result provide you with a perfect present?
Yeah, I can enjoy a beer and a steak tonight, I think. So yeah, it's they come around too fast these days, Colin, and the beard certainly got a lot more grey in it than this time last year. So no, it's a nice win for the lads. I'll get them a few beers for the bus on the way home, and like last week, it's really enjoyable trip back when you've won away from home on a long trip, and tonight will be no different. Lads can enjoy it. That's what it's all about. We're here to enjoy playing and enjoy winning games, and we'll enjoy the weekend, but back to business during the week and get ready for Lincoln.
I'm joined by Liam Dickinson after Guiseley's 1-0 win away at Kidderminster Harriers. Liam, we had to dig in at times, but we've come away with all 3 points.
Yeah, it was a great effort from the lads today. We know it wasn't going to be easy. Kidderminster bottom of the league, but they're usually the hardest games because they're fighting for survival. And we came in knowing that they were going to give us a good game, and it's going to be a tough outfit today. So glad for the 3 points.
At half time, we probably should have been ahead with the half chance and the opportunities we had, but to be fair to Kidderminster, their keeper had a blinder in the first half.
Yeah, he did. He played really well. Like I say, Boyes' goal got flagged for offside. Not sure if it was or not, but we should have took our chances. We had a few chances in the first half. We should have took, but as long as we create chances, we're always going to score.
And talking about taking chances for you, I think we worked out it was your second touch of the game before you
hit the
goal.
I think it was. It was just right place at the right time. Managed to get swimmy right foot and it's gone in. But like I say, if we get enough chances, we're always going to score goals.
And for you to obviously come off the bench as well, and how important is that for you to come off and make an impact in the way you want to?
It's extremely important. I think it's more important for the subs because you're not on the pitch as long. And it's frustrating at times, but the likes of me and the rest of the subs, we've got to be as professional as possible, and we've got to work at our hardest when we're on the pitch, and try and impress. But it's a catch-22. Sometimes you're trying too hard, so it's got to be that balance. But I'm delighted with my goal today, and delighted to get the 3 points.
And as I say, 3 points, guys, is just the second away win of the season. Important to get another win on the road.
Definitely, every win's important, whether it's home or away. But we're confident when we play home and away. We're confident we can beat the bottom teams, the top teams. We went to Grimsby and we put in a great performance there, and we're lucky to take all 3 points. So it doesn't matter where we play. We're confident we can win.
And next week we go to Lincoln, a side that are very much out of form at the moment.
It means nothing. In my eyes, it means nothing. They can be out of form and then they can play top of the league and win 5-0. It's how you play on the day, and if we take it game by game, I'm sure we'll do well.
Well, as Liam Dickinson was saying there, the form guide means nothing, and it's meaning nothing so far for Lincoln City, as they have certainly performed above home fans' expectations in this first 45 as we get ready for this second period here at Sincil Bank. Guiseley trailing by a goal to nil. The new men, Jamie McComb, James Caton, both making a big difference to this Lincoln side. And Chris, it's going to be a tough 45, isn't it, for the Lions? What way back can we get into this match?
First things first, if they concede a corner, they need to actually pick up and mark tightly on it, because as we say, Chris Butch could have had a hat-trick for it, basically, from corners in that first half. So you've got to be a lot more solid defensively there. And then they've got to look to keep possession a bit more, if they need to, play the ball back slightly to keep possession, to try and work it forward again, do so, rather than ending up running into trouble, losing possession, and then giving Lincoln the attack again.
We're about to get underway. Referee just counting out the players. Guys are now going to be shooting towards the the away fans, the Lions fans, who are mustered away to our right as we get started, with the ball immediately being put out of play for a Lions throw in left back position. On latest goal, FC United 2, Harrogate Town 3. Bit of a game going on there in the Vanarama National North. Throw comes in from Danny Lowe in left back. It's nodded on. This low sun away to our left, which we were contemplating how it exactly perhaps contributed to the Lions struggling perhaps in dealing with some of the crosses into the box in the first half. It's bright into our eyes away to our left, and now Lincoln City are playing into it. And they're just mislaying a pass here out towards Caton. Picked up by Tilson, but Tilson's played in ball back to Stephen Drench, and I think it was Muldoon who was chasing him down. Drench just gets there ahead of Muldoon, blasts the ball out. And Guiseley, almost masters of their own downfall again in this game.
Yeah, we conceded a goal against Wrexham in very similar circumstances. A dodgy pass back from Ryan Toulson on that occasion. I'd say Muldoon there tried to nip in.
Throws taken by Beavers. In here to Power, who wins the ball, plays the ball into the box, and it's man down at the moment for Guiseley on the right-hand side. I think it's Tilson. He's really on the ground, holding on to his knee. Referee's playing on at the moment, but this is a worrying moment here for Guiseley, because is that Tilson?
I think it is. I think you're right.
It's
he went down, looked in a lot of pain, and has stayed down as well. It was one of those where you just look at him and think he's torn something, or something's just not gone right at all, as he's tried to turn away after losing out. I think it was to James Caton.
Yeah, it was a good few moments before the referee decided to stop play. But Martin Stringfellow is on the field now, and he's having a look at Tilson's knee. But I would suggest that looks bad enough that we might need to see a change, because Ryan Tilson went straight to the ground. He's held firm. He's not attempted to move, and his left lower leg is the subject of the attention from Martin Stringfellow. He's up on his haunches though now, and he's hobbling off the field, but certainly doesn't look comfortable.
Well, there's nobody out warming up. Oh, there is the.
No, there isn't.
There's Ben Parker.
Yeah, Ben Parker is. Yes, you're right. Just down here in front of us. We're just slightly missighted by the stand that kind of protrudes just in front of us, in front of that corner flag here.
Ben Parker and Nicky Bosch are the 2-1, but Tilson has come back on.
Well, you didn't anticipate that.
I didn't see that when it happened.
Aldershot 1, Kidderminster 0, and Alfreton 0, Nuneaton 1 in the north. Guys, he get the ball away here. Dudley hitting it up in the air towards Boys. Boys can't control and get it down. It's picked up this time by Hawkridge. Out to the right-hand side, where again Bradley Wood is trying to move forward with the ball. It's out now for a Lincoln throw midway through the Lions half. So they shoot towards the Guiseley goal in front of a very low sun that they might not have in their eyes down there where the pitch is in shade, but we certainly do up here. The ball goes into the box and headed away by Danny Hall. It's out on the right-hand side, and again Lincoln have possession, and they're enjoying their afternoon so far. They're leading by a goal to nil. It's to Chris Bush, who scored after 27 minutes, and in truth, looks like the home side have got a real stamp on this game at the moment. Guys, they haven't really tested the goalkeeper at all. Now the ball into the box, in towards the back post. beyond everyone. There's a little push on Ryan Tilson, who happily seems to be moving fairly comfortably. And the free kick is going to be taken by Stephen Drench inside his own penalty area.
Yeah, there was a certain push from James Caton on Ryan Tilson.
Ball's cleared up towards Hurst. Hurst wins the header up towards Boys. Taken down the chest now by Hatfield. 5 around him. And loses out. Bush clears his lines. It's out for a Guiseley throw. It's not happening at all. Tilson picks up another ball and takes it quickly. Plays it in towards Hatfield, but Bush wins the header. And then it's played down the left-hand side towards Caton by Hawkridge. But goes out for a Guiseley goal kick. And you can probably hear the fans away to our right saying what they want. Liam Dickinson's the call. Came off the bench last week, of course, and scored that goal to give us the 3 points at Kidderminster. Guiseley now have a throw midway through the Lincoln half, which Hurst will take. Finds Tilson. No long throw from Tilson on this occasion into Danny Boschel. But Guiseley can't keep the ball going. It's not really worked for Will Hatfield this afternoon for me in that central midfield role. He's not been able to get involved in the game enough. And as the ball came through to him there, again it ricochets off him and out for a throw-in for Lincoln City.
I completely agree with you there. Hatfield, we know what he is capable of, but he just hasn't had the opportunity to show it today. I think Lincoln have almost marked him out of the game, to be honest, and quite successfully.
Now Lincoln on the counter-attack. The complaint originally was that Jake Lawler was pulled back. The free kick wasn't given, and then Rob Atkinson lunged in to try and win the ball back inside the Lincoln half, and the free kick was given, much to the complaint of the home fans, the away fans rather. But it's a free kick nonetheless. Lincoln City take it. Bush plays it long up in towards the area where Danny Hall appears to have a bit of the hands of Jack Muldoon's shirt. Nothing given. The ball's now on the left-hand side, and a challenge comes in from Ryan Tilson to knock the ball out from Caton's feet, but it's going to be a Lincoln City throw. And, Lincoln take it short. Find Greg Tempest. He's tackled, and in the end it's gone out for a Guiseley throw in right-back position. Still 1-0. We've got 52 minutes gone now. Lincoln down this left flank once again. Muldoon into the feet of Power. Power on the edge of the area takes a swipe at the ball, doesn't really connect with it well. It's cleared by Guiseley. Danny Boschel now gets the ball away. He's brought down, but the referee waves advantage because Guiseley are on the counter-attack here. Hatfield running at this Lincoln City defence. Plays it in here to Boys. Boys inside the penalty area. Almost gets a shot away, takes a deflection. And again, eventually, Lincoln clear. That was one of the...
It was Hatfield. It was Hatfield that it struck. So you know it's not going for you when the shots that you do get are just blocked by your own players.
Atkinson is bundled over, and a free kick is given to Guiseley inside their own half. But not a great afternoon so far for the Lions. Could have brightened it up somewhat, though. It was a good movement, good counter-attacking move. Hatfield led the line well there, didn't he? Ran into the back line, he charged forwards, he picked out the pass to Boys. But it didn't result in anything particularly positive for Guiseley. They still have the ball now on the left-hand side. It's chipped in towards the edge of the area, rather aimlessly towards Boys. Jake Lawler can't get the head on it, but can find Hatfield, who's forced back to the halfway line. Danny Hall deftly passes out to the left-hand side, nodded on by Lowe. Guiseley struggling to control. Play it down the left-hand side and have the ball nodded into the area by Hurst, but the free kick's given against Boys. A rather weak, soft free kick decision there from the referee. And it's very much in Lincoln's favour because Guiseley were just building up a little bit of header steam down that left flank. And Boys might have got a shot away.
Yeah, that wasn't a free kick. It's as simple as that. I mean, if you're giving free kicks for little pushes like that, or not pushes, not even a push. That was the thing. It was just a bit of a, touching each other, back to back sort of thing. And if you're going to give a free kick for that, how many free kicks are you going to give in a game?
Maybe Agony turned him, but the free kick is taken, and Guiseley picked the ball up. Low now from left back. Plays it up towards the head of Boys, goes beyond him. Helped away by Bush. In towards Danny Boschel. Jake Lawler sprays the wall down the right-hand side. Ryan Tulson runs for it, but he's blocked. Slightly checked his run, thinking that Caton was well ahead of him, then went for it. Caton was able to make the interception. Tulson then brings down Caton, and it's a free kick to Lincoln City in left-back position. Disappointing end to that. Incredible game at FC United, who were 3-0 down against Harrogate Town. Must be a sending off or something. They're now 4-3 up in the National North. So FC United 4, Harrogate Town 3. And one more score in that division, and that's Alfreton 1, Nuneaton 1 now. Nuneaton had led in that game. York City now 2-0 up in League 2 against Stevenage. Still waiting for this free kick to be taken as Lincoln just take their time. It's a long one forward that Rob Atkinson has to watch carefully. Heads away, but Lincoln win the second phase, and again there's a free kick given in the home side's favour. This time a nudge by Ryan Tulson on power, and a free kick for Lincoln just about a few yards up from the angle of the 18-yard box on this left-hand side. And they're going to get the bodies into the box in the red and white stripes, and it's going to be the usual pairing, the centre halves of McComb and Bush, who will probably cause the problems.
You would certainly expect so. Danny Bosch was furious that the free kick was given against Guiseley there.
The free kick is taken. Hawkridge heads it in, headed away by Lawler. Again, though, Guiseley just don't get the second phase. Power keeps the ball moving for Lincoln. Stanley now out to the right-hand side. It's whipped in towards the back post where McComb is still up, but he can't win the header on that occasion. Claims a corner as Jake Lawler goes in for the challenge, but the referee points for a goal kick. Still 1-0. If you're just joining us, it's 56 minutes gone. The Lions trailing by a goal to 0. And it's actually still York 1, Stevenage 0. Bradford 0, Fleetwood 1 in League 1. Bradford, of course, dumped out the cup by Bury on penalties.
Wonder if Devontae Cole scored for Fleetwood.
Ball's down this left-hand side now as Lincoln come forward. Caton now up against Tulson. Tulson slides in well, wins the ball back for Guiseley, and then slips over the ball. Won back by Danny Boschel. Tulson up on his feet now. Again, doesn't control the ball well in the first instance. That time the clearance goes straight into the feet of Stanley, and it's moved down this left-hand side well as Caton can get the cross into the box, headed away by Rob Atkinson. Chested down here by Beavers. Beavers finds Tempest in good space, and he could have had a shot, but he was hesitant and went out to the right-hand side instead, where Danny Lowe has enough time to make a challenge, keep it from going behind for a corner, but in the end can't prevent it going out for a throw just up from the corner flag. Guys, he's still under pressure. What changes is Mark Bauer going to make? He's got to make something. Ben Parker, Liam Dickinson, Nicky Boschel and Adam Lockwood on the bench. It's not changing the second half, is it? We're still pretty much on the defensive primarily.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that we are still that defensive.
Long throw comes in, claimed by Stephen Drench. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, no, as I say, I am a little surprised that nothing seems to have been tweaked. I don't think Ryan Tulson's having the best game of his Guiseley career, it's fair to say.
Ball's now won again by Lincoln City from the goal kick, straight back at Guiseley. Straight back every time now. Caton on the ball, into the feet of Stanley. Stanley on the right-hand side. The on-running of Bradley Wood wins Lincoln another throw. Just up from the 6-yard box on this right-hand side. Bradley Wood now prepares to loft this one into the box, and again you can see who's trundling up from the back. It's McComb who's into the box to be the target man. He's up against the Guiseley defence that this time cluster around him and get the ball away. Hurst, who has got 2 players around him, controls but no support. Hurst has to go it alone and does it well, actually. Goes across the midfield, but again has no outlet and no option. And in the end, after being dispossessed, is fouled. Commits a foul, and it's a free kick to Lincoln. Big scoreline. At the bottom, Halifax are now 1-0 up at home to Welling. And it looks like we're going to make our first change, Chris.
Yeah, it's going to be Nicky Boschel, who is going to come on. I can't quite see the number in red on the board.
Well, it's a 30-something, isn't it? It's going to be a Dudley or a Hurst, possibly Dudley, I would suggest. And Nicky Boschel is about to be introduced to the fray. First change of the afternoon, and it is indeed Anthony Dudley who comes off.
He has been quiet.
Give us, but
yeah, I was just going to say, Dudley, for me, has been fairly quiet, especially in the second half. But at the same time, I'm not entirely sure what Nicky Boschel is going to bring to this party.
it's hard really to see, because that's no criticism of Nicky Boschel, absolutely not, but it's just what parts of the pitch we are finding the ball in. It's hard for seeing a player like Anthony Dudley getting his part in the game, and if anything, we're going to be on the counter-attack, and his pace has been one of the great things for a counter-attack.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Anthony Dudley full of running. Nicky Boschel's come on. He's technically a good player. He doesn't quite have, he doesn't have that pace that someone like Dudley can offer.
Ball goes back to Stephen Drench. He lofts it clear into the Lincoln half. Chases on from Hurst. Tackle comes in from Beavers. It is across the back line, rather unconventionally cleared. Nicky Boschel challenging down on Bradley Wood. I mean, gets a touch in, and it's out for a Lincoln throw.
Position-wise, it's a like-for-like change. If you look at it, Nicky Boschel just seems to be taking residence on the left-hand side where Anthony Dudley was. So formation-wise, we stayed the same.
Still, Guiseley trail by a goal to nil. Lincoln with a throw in the halfway line. It's played long, headed on by Danny Hall. Header isn't completely cleared. Gets put out, and interception comes in from Muldoon. It's a Guiseley throw in left back position.
Liam Dickinson's going to come on as well now. And that looks to be, I think, we'll find out soon enough, but I'm fairly sure it's number 9 and boys that will be coming off.
Mark Bauer really changing things around here, and he needs to.
Well,
now Will Hatfield's just won the ball in the centre circle, robbing the Lincoln man. He's got Hurst on the right if he can play him in. Hurst is through on the right hand side at an awkward angle, takes a shot, takes a touch and then a shot, gives Chris Butch a chance to block, and he does, and it's out for a throw in.
Yeah, it was a good attack from Guiseley there. Good play from Hatfield, driving run, played it out to Hurst, who got the shot off. But as you say, that extra touch. And it isn't boys coming off, sorry. It's Danny Boschel.
It's a formation change in here, isn't it? They're changing things
and it's needed.
Around.
It's needed, and the opportunity to get boys and Dickinson up top in this game. We've got to do it because, let's be honest, trailing by a goal to nil, we may as well go for it and try and get ourselves back into this game. We may as well lose 2-0 trying than 1-0 with how things are going.
Ryan Tilson gets prepared to take the long throw from the right-hand side, launches this in towards the edge of the box, bounces off the head. Rob Atkinson takes a shot, held by Farman, straight at him, and it was comfortable for the Lincoln goalkeeper. Does that count as our first shot on goal this afternoon?
Yes. You can probably hear the cogs turning. I'm fairly sure that is.
I can't think of another one.
That's the first save that Paul Farman's had to make, and we are 26 minutes to go.
Free kicks given to Guiseley.
Is that 64?
So the changes have worked already. Stephen Drench plays it long from the throw at the back. It goes over the top. Boys into the box. Actually, 2 around him. Plays it back here. Hurst will line up a shot. Deflects off the defender and away. Again, Bush makes the second clearance, but Jake Lawler picks it up. Plays a poor ball into Ryan Tilson. Tilson battling for it manfully up against Caton. The ball then played down that left-hand channel. Guiseley managed to clear, but Caton wins back the second phase. In now to Power. Will Hatfield this time winning the ball from midfield in his better position, I think. Will Hatfield runs down that right-hand side, playing forward now for Guiseley. He's got the ball into the box. Nicky Boschel chasing an awfully poor ball from Will Hatfield at the end of that. Too much on it for Nicky Boschel, and it goes out for a goal kick, but
another good run, though. Yeah, better. It is, isn't it? It's another good run from Will Hatfield. On that occasion, the final ball lets him down. He could have played it out to Hurst, who had pulled out to the right-hand side again. He would have been in a good position to try and get a crossing. But, to be fair, Liam Dickinson and Nicky Boschel have been on the pitch for, what, no more than a couple of minutes, and already there's that little bit more of a spark in Guiseley's play and that little bit more nervousness, perhaps, in Lincoln's play, and in particular in the Lincoln crowd as well, to be honest.
Oh, good work here from Caton. He's just spun past Ryan Toulson. He's on the left-hand side into the penalty area. Plays it across the 6-yard box. Cleared by Jake Lawler. And picked up by Beavers into the feet of Tempest. Encouraged to shoot. Good tackle comes in by Nicky Boschel. Laid into the feet of Hurst by Liam Dickinson. Hurst back out to Dickinson on the halfway line. Dickinson holds it up. Looks for the crossfield pass. Goes square to Lawler. Lawler's closed down. Chased and harried by Power. He plays the ball back though to Stephen Drench. Drench out of his own penalty area. Looks to play this one long again. Guiseley giving a crack now in these last 20 minutes or so, after not looking at the races in the first part of this half. Hurst now wins the ball, gets the ball into the box. Boys takes a shot, saved by the goalkeeper. Bounces back here. Hatfield drills it back in. Played out and away as Lincoln start to defend, and now the nerves go around Sincil Bank as Guiseley start to muster finally some sort of a response in this game.
I was going to say, you know what Guiseley are doing now? They're playing football. We haven't seen them attempt this, really, in the first hour or so. They've been on the back foot and had to defend and have done it well at times and shoddily at others, to be honest. But now we're actually starting to move the ball really well, look a little bit more sprightly, bit more pace to the play going forward, and it's working. It's putting Lincoln under pressure. The nerves are creeping in. The crowd are starting to get on the backs a bit, and it is causing problems.
24 minutes yet to go in this game, and Guiseley are just beginning to participate. But
good word.
There is a long way yet to go. Can Guiseley get their way back into this match? There's only a goal in it. And there's a goal in the game between Forest Green and Macclesfield have taken the lead against Forest Green. The Lions have the ball in their own half now. It's played up by Lowe into the chest of Dickinson. Boys wins the second phase, plays it in here to Nicky Boschel, battling away. Nicky Boschel loses out, wins the ball back actually, up against the challenge of Beavers, and Guiseley have to settle though for conceding a throw to Lincoln inside their half. But again, much more combativeness since Nicky Boschel's come on, and Liam Dickinson in that final third. Ball out for a throw in Guiseley's half in left back position. And throw from left back from Danny Lowe. Gets the ball up to the halfway line. Flicked on by Liam Dickinson. This time Bush gets the ball well clear. Danny Hall gets right underneath that one and clears it straight back into the Lincoln half. So Bush heads away. And this time Danny Lowe can't win the header back for Guiseley. The ball bounces awkwardly. Jake Lawler now forced to go into left back as he holds the ball up here against Lincoln, but there's a spin on the turn from Hawkridge. And the ball into the box now, played back here towards Caton. Caton not able to get there, but Will Hatfield anticipated the move well. Wins the ball back for Guiseley, but dawdling from Jake Lawler in that part of the pitch, almost penalised. In the end, the ball rolls through to Stephen Drench. Now Hurst, ball out here to Toulson. Toulson plays it high and long towards the back line, headed away by McComb, nodded on now by Nicky Boschel, picked up now by Hatfield, into the feet of Dickinson, out to the left hand side. Lowe floats the ball in towards the back post. Hurst is there, gets the ball with a volley, but it was at a very difficult angle, and in the end he just sort of passes the ball over the crossbar and behind, but a better move again from Guiseley.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's like I said, a bit quicker, a bit more of a tempo to the game now from Guiseley's perspective. Almost works there, really good ball, comes to Hurst, the back post, just a bit too much of a tight angle on that to go for goal. I think he was trying to lift it back across, but got it slightly wrong and skewed it across the top of the crossbar. But, as we say, it's an improvement from Guiseley's play in this last 6 to 7 minutes from what we'd seen in the previous 60.
Goal kick now for Lincoln City. Still 1-0 to the home side. Chris Bush, who scored the goal from a header on 27 minutes. They might have added more to their tally in that first half and in the early stage of the second half, but Guiseley beginning to show more of a determination and a response in the second. The ball with Danny Hall. He's got two at the far side on this right-hand flank to aim for. Hurst is one of them and Dickinson the other, but he manages to play a decent ball across. They both missed the flight of the ball, and it's out for a Lincoln throw in left-back position.
Yeah, I think it was James Hurst's positioning that let him down more than anything there. The ball was a couple of yards ahead of him, and he kind of stopped his run when trying to anticipate where the ball was actually going to go. In the end, he couldn't control it and goes straight out of play.
The throw only finds Jake Lawler. Picked up now by Boschel. Boschel into the feet of Dickinson. Tackle comes in there from Bradley Wood. Out for another Guiseley throw, this time on the right-hand side. Ryan Tulson will take this one. It's certainly quieter here in Sincil Bank from the home fans' perspective. Guiseley getting their voices up. Away to our right. Tulson now ready to perhaps go long. Feigns short, then goes long with the throw into the box, flicked on, finds Hatfield inside the box, or Nicky Boschel rather, surrounded by players. They manage to crowd him out and then hoof the ball out into touch. It's going to be another Guiseley throw, this time from Tulson.
And the Guiseley fans behind that goal really getting themselves up for this now.
Tulson now, he's got 5 to aim for in the box, lofts this one in once again, flicked on once again, managed to defend it and get it away, but it's a poor clearance, and James Hurst is battling, trying to win the ball back on the edge of the 18-yard box. Lincoln City just unable to get out of their own half for a minute. Picked up now by Jake Lawler, ball down the right-hand side, picked up by Liam Dickinson on right wing. He's got a lot of work to do to get past Beavers, pressurises him, it's gone out, it's going to be a corner to Guiseley.
Yeah, Beavers dawdled in. I think for a second he thought if he let it run out it'd be a goal kick, then he realised, tried to clear it out, it was too late, already gone. Corner for Guiseley.
Huge moment sees for the Lions. The ball played into the box. It's an appalling corner from Nicky Boschel. Hits the front near post and cleared. Boschel can't keep the ball in play and it's out for a throw. And after all that build-up, it is quite a letdown in the end, and it's a throw into Lincoln, which I think they'll be pretty grateful for, as they can just reorganise and reshape themselves.
Yeah, and they need to at the moment. I mean, going back to that corner though, it was I think that was a contender for worst corner we've taken this season.
Cheltenham 4, Bromley 0. By the way, Cheltenham having a good afternoon with Forest Green trailing at home to Macclesfield.
Have we had any updates from Chester? Because they're a side, aren't they, in the league that are kind of dropping down towards the relegation fight.
Yeah, one to watch out for. Guiseley now get the ball away with Stephen Drench up towards Liam Dickinson. He can't win this one ahead of Bush. It's helped away. It's going to be a throw though to the Lions on the halfway line. Guiseley need to keep this tempo, keep this pressure going. Perhaps they can break down this Lincoln defence. But the flick on from James Hurst on that occasion isn't good enough, and it's out for a goal kick.
Yeah, just too much on that one.
18 minutes to go, Chris. 18 minutes. And the referee urging the Lincoln players to get on with it.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit early for time wasting, don't you?
It says, though, something about the mentality of the team and the way they're feeling about the game, I think.
Well, it's like you said, you know, when Lincoln got that throw in a little bit earlier on, you know, they need to regroup at the back and do something, from Lincoln's perspective anyway, to make it harder than it has been for the last 10 minutes or so for Guiseley to try and break through. Obviously for Guiseley, if they can keep up this pressure and keep doing what they're doing, there's every chance that they can make something happen to get themselves back into this game, but they need to at least be trying to test Paul Farman.
Nicky Boschel does well to win Guiseley a throw inside the Lions half. It's about level with the centre circle. It's played up towards Dickinson. He flicks on. Ball helped into the centre of the field where Hurst heads. Lincoln clear up to the halfway line. Played forward now down the right flank. Hall is over there. Manages to get a clearance and a deflection off the Lincoln man. The Guiseley throw in left back position.
And the Lincoln just looking to press Guiseley back at the moment.
Clearance comes and it's up to the halfway line. Nicky Boschel on the ball, controls, goes back into the feet of Danny Lowe, who sends it down the left side, and it's headed on. Adam Boyce chases, cleared by Chris Bush. Huge clearance that hits the top of the stand on the opposite side, bounces back. And Guiseley can take the throw midway through the Lincoln half on that left-hand side as we attack the Lincoln goal. In towards Dickinson, good flick on. Down now to James Hurst. Hurst going away from goal, forced to go back and plays it to the right-hand side where Tilson crosses into the box. Boys back to goal, flicks it on into the area. Hartfield up to the back post. Boys is there, goes down under a challenge, claims something. Not much of a shout though for a penalty from Guys' perspective, and it's away. And now Lincoln City come on the counter-attack. Good blocking challenge, and now Danny Hall has managed to clip somebody off the ball, gets the yellow card. And he's been the panto villain this afternoon, Danny Hall, from Lincoln's perspective. 2 or 3 challenges where the home side were baying for a yellow, and to be fair, we thought, well, that's going to be one. Finally, he is in the book.
Yeah, I certainly think that many around Sincil Bank at the moment will think finally Danny Hall goes into the book. Because as you say, he was very much the panto villain. He has now been booked. At the other end, though, Adam Boyce coming together, but was it a foul? Referee says no. Adam Boyce turned around and looked at him, but didn't really appeal as much as I expected him to, and neither did any of his teammates.
Lincoln City now have the ball on the right-hand side as they look to get to cross into the 3 that are in the box. Eventually it comes after a first clearance. Ryan Tilson there ahead of Caton. It's going to be picked up here by Tempest for a throw-in. And he's going to take his time, no doubt just lay it down, allow Muldoon to, not Muldoon, Beavers rather, to come across and take. And an equaliser for Forest Green, just reading here. Forest Green back into it against Macclesfield. Now Beavers has taken the ball here for Lincoln. He's on the edge of the area. Great tackle comes in on him from Hurst. Now can Guiseley start the counter-attack. Boschel from inside his own half finds Hatfield. Hatfield lays a poor ball back in here, and Guiseley are in trouble because Caton has got through onto the edge of the 18-yard box. He's up against Atkinson, plays a brilliant effort against the crossbar. He drilled it from an awkward angle past Atkinson. It beaten Stephen Drench. It came back off the crossbar and away, but Lincoln still have the ball into the penalty area. Looks like there's a potential offside decision against Power, but it's not. The flag stays down. Power into the box. Now Lincoln are getting back into their stride. The clearance comes. Guys, you get it away. Boys manages to control. Gives it to Hurst inside his own half. Long ball from Hurst. Looking for Dickinson to chase it. Dickinson's up against Bush. The ball bounces in the penalty area. Bush doesn't deal with it. Dickinson has the ball. Back to goal on the right-hand side of the area. Goes past him, though. Gets a shot away. Takes a block from the defender, McComb. And Guiseley have yet to see a chance on goal from those sort of angles. But there's been plenty of blocks and important interceptions from the defence. And we're going to see the first change from Lincoln City's perspective.
Yeah, it's Robbie McDade who's coming on, the man that's joined on loan from Leeds United. So it'll be something in it if he scored for Lincoln. And coming off, Craig Stanley, who has made his 500th league appearance in this game today.
Must admit,
coming off.
I thought there would be a change earlier from Lincoln City's perspective, because the 2 that Mark Bowers made have worked to great effect, and I thought they might have done something a little bit swifter in reaction.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I completely agree with you, because the changes that guys have made certainly seem to work. I'm interested actually to see how this is going to pan out for Lincoln, because it's effectively a central midfielder who's coming off and a striker that's going on.
Guiseley wait for the ball to get back underway, to get back into play, because the substitute's taken. It's going to be a goal kick to Lincoln. 12 minutes to go. It's not impossible, this really is.
Especially now that Lincoln have gone to a 4-4-2 as well. Unless Muldoon is going to pull out onto one of the wings, but you'd be a little bit surprised if that was Chris Moses' decision, when Guiseley have got themselves really back into this game in terms of performance and playing levels, that actually Lincoln have then gone more attacking, potentially left themselves more open.
Good movement here from Guiseley. Jake Lawler finds Nicky Boschel, finds Hurst. Hurst on the edge of the area, shaping himself for a shot, but tries to go past too many players. Well intercepted by Rob Atkinson, though, as Lincoln clear. Played back into the back line. Bush heads out. Guiseley have a throw just in front of the Lions dugout. Ryan Tulson lofts it long. Real tempo and pace from the Lions now as we try to get back into this game. 12 minutes to go and still trailing by a 1-0, but cleared now by Lincoln and into the feet of the substitute, McDade. The ball forward is poor. Stephen Drench out of his penalty area. Plays it up high in the air. Dickinson can't win on that occasion. Down here to Caton. Caton into the feet of Tempest. And now McDade just threads the ball through here, and it's a good one on the left-hand side for Jack Muldoon, who can keep the ball in play. Plays it back here to Caton. He's looking for the options in the box here. In-swinger, headed away by Atkinson. Picked up by Hurst in right-back. Hurst looks ahead. Plays a long ball up towards Dickinson, who wins it, chests it down. Taking on Chris Bush. Is pulled down by the centre-half, and Guiseley have a free kick. Dickinson has a word with the Lincoln goal scorer. And this is a chance to get the bodies in the box again, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good bit of play there from Liam Dickinson. Used all of his experience and size to draw the foul.
Nicky Bossell plays the ball into the area, finds Boyce. Boyce puts it in the net, but the flag is already up. The movement looked excellent. A great ball in there from Nicky Bossell. The two were on the same wavelength. But as soon as Adam Boyce went towards the ball, the flag was very swiftly up. And he played quite a nice finish to it. But it's to no avail. It's still 1-0 to Lincoln.
I'd love to see that again, just to see the line there of the run from Adam Boyce, see how much he was offside, if at all. It was certainly close, but to be fair, on first thought, I did think he got a little bit easily away from the defender there, but as you say, finished it well. And Paul Farman, the Lincoln keeper, absolutely livid with his back foot because he didn't know he was offside either.
Now the one ball forward up towards McDade. He's into the box. He goes down to ground. Lincoln pick the ball up with Muldoon. He takes a shot, but it's a snapshot with the left foot that goes wide. Halifax 1, Welling 1, Tranmere 2, Torquay 1. And in the north, it's Hensford 0, Curzon 2, and Alfreton 2, Nuneaton 2. But that's a big scoreline, that equaliser for Welling at the Shea.
I was just about to say, I think from our situation, a draw would be the best result.
Now Hurst has picked the ball up. He's played it over the back line. McComb is there just ahead of Boyes. Boyes is still chasing him though. McComb plays it very calmly into the feet of Beavers. Helped up to the halfway line. Lincoln now close down, and a free kick has been given. Oh, that's poor. Muldoon goes down, and a free kick has been given to the home side just on the halfway line.
Yeah, Rob Atkinson had come up behind.
Now it's a good ball down this on left-hand side. Caton's in space. Guys here are in trouble here. They've got to close this down. It's a good ball into Caton, who managed to find acres of space on that left-hand side. His ball in was to McDade. It's good interception in the end, and helped away by Nicky Bossell. Chases on for Liam Dickinson up against Chris Bush. Dickinson wins the ball. Bush is right up against him though on the right wing, and Dickinson goes back, keeps the ball in play, finds Jake Lawler. Lawler closed down very swiftly, plays the ball in here. There's a chase on for Nicky Bossell. He can't keep the ball in play. It's a decent enough ball from Jake Lawler. Bossell just didn't have the turn of pace to keep hold of it. He'd found the space but couldn't keep hold of the ball in play, and it's behind for a Lincoln goal kick.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. The ball through was pretty much superb from Jake Lawler, but again, just wasn't quite the pace there from the Guiseley man. He was trying to keep it in play, or would have been looking to try and keep it in play and pull it back across. Going to see a change for Lincoln fairly shortly. Matt Sparrow, experienced centre mid, is the man that's going to come on.
Clearance from the goal kick goes all the way through to Stephen Drench. Guiseley will start again from the back. It feels a frustrating last half of this game from the Lions' perspective. Such an improved performance, but just not enough to really get the goal yet. Hurst from distance takes a shot that's just high and wide on this occasion and behind. And that substitute will happen. And this time it's
Alan Power.
So Alan Power, the captain, comes off, and he's going to be replaced by Matt Sparrow. So 2 changes each.
So like for like change for Lincoln position, like Matt Sparrow, centre mid. Alan Power, who's played a little bit more advanced and more attacking mid role, but you can see.
I've never seen a man walk more slowly off a field, to use up The time?
2:2.68. I think the attendance was there with 98 from Guiseley.
It's fair enough, isn't it? It's been a long old stretch of away games for those fans to our right and for us. And
we love it,
really.
really.
What Nethermore looks like. But the nod on is up to the halfway line. And now Lincoln have a chance to move down the right-hand side. They've won a throw midway through Guiseley's half. Nicky Boschel playing temporary ball boy to get the game back underway. Lincoln just trying to work the clock down with a valuable 1-0 lead to halt what a 12-match run it would be of not winning. Back here to Stephen Drench, and Drench gets it up here to Liam Dickinson. Dickinson is fouled on the halfway line. Guys, who will have a free kick, and they will get the big men forward. Up goes Danny Hall, up goes Jake Lawler, up goes Rob Atkinson. It's everyone to attack this one as guys who look for this equaliser. The ball played in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Liam Dickinson leaps high in the air, gets a good header on it across the face of the penalty area, but it's dealt with well by Lincoln. Danny Hall makes the interception. There's a throw being given to Lincoln, but clearly took a deflection off the Lincoln man from this angle that Danny Hall is really frustrated about. It's going to be a home throw, though. Little things like that just take the sting out of the movement forward.
Yeah, and at this stage with 4.5 minutes plus added time to go, it's at this stage that guys who need things to drop for them.
And balls forward and flicked away by Jake Lawler. There's a free kick given to guys. Again, not really too sure what that's for, but there's no arguments.
Steve Drench is certainly determined to come and take this.
This is just at the level of the edge of the centre circle inside the Lions half.
It's a long way out.
They're holding a high line as well, Lincoln. They don't want to concede possession. Stephen Drench takes this. It goes up towards the edge of the 18-yard box, flicked on by Dickinson. It was difficult one for him to make connection with and direct it. He did well, but it's gone straight through to Paul Farman, the goalkeeper, who picks the ball up, takes his time, plays it high in the air. Jake Lawler's underneath it as he battles to win it. Picked up by Caton, though. Good play between Caton and Tempest. Caton down the left-hand side. Hatfield in pursuit. Caton can't keep it in play. And it's going to be a Guiseley throw. The players down there just contesting the ball. That's already been blown for a throw. And it's taken by Toulson. Flicked up towards the halfway line. Flicked on by Dickinson. Clearance comes in from the substitute Sparrow. Guiseley, though, having to defend because the ball's up here towards the left-hand side. No, there's a free kick's been given against Danny Lowe, this time against Terry Hawkridge. And it's a poor one to concede because now Guiseley, A, will have to watch Lincoln use up the clock, and B, can get some players forward themselves. 2.5 minutes to go of normal time.
Yeah, it was slightly needless, wasn't it? From Danny Lowe. Free kick's been taken short.
Hawkridge on the ball up against Hurst. Hurst is adjudged to have fouled him. And the free kick.
Again with a needless one as well. Just clipped him for no reason. Hawkridge wasn't really going anywhere.
Into the box. Toulson clears, but not very effectively. It's not far enough away, and Muldoon has a chance to recover possession for Lincoln. Now Beavers into the feet of Caton. Back here to Tempest. Beavers again square now to Caton. Caton onto the edge of the 18-yard box, runs into the penalty area. Good tackle comes in from him. Will Hatfield on him. An important challenge too. Caton recovers a second phase. Down by the corner flag now. And they're doing everything to work down the clock as he holds it up. But guys, he managed to win the throw. And there is just a minute and a half left of normal, whatever the stoppages will be. Probably, 4 minutes you'd say?
3, 4 at least.
Throw comes in from Toulson, but again, guys, he's not able to clear their lines. They're having to defend in their own half when they want to be attacking up the other end. Hurst battling hard to try and win possession back. Plays it long this time. Finds Boys. Boys heads down. Nicky Boschel runs onto it. He's surely clipped, but he's given the free kick after a delay from the referee. And there'll be a yellow card for kicking the ball away as well. Who is that actually?
I think that's Bradley Wood.
It is, isn't it? It's Bradley Wood. Yes, you're right. He's got the yellow card there. This is the last chance saloon really for Guiseley, isn't it? Chance to get some players forward. The free kick middle of the Lincoln half, midway between the penalty edge of the D and the edge of the centre circle.
55 seconds left on that scoreboard behind the goal in which we're aiming for. Well, this is a long way out for Liam Dickinson. We haven't seen a side foot of doom for a while.
No, well, we'd need something quite spectacular from that distance if guys are going to get back from this. He's going to have to play it into the area, isn't he?
He's close. Well, he's close to the centre circle.
Dickinson strikes it, takes a deflection off the wall. That might lead to a corner, which could be a good ploy from the Guiseley frontman. Now Lions have a free kick on this corner kick rather on this left-hand side. Everyone in the box ready to pounce if they can. This one floated in towards the 6-yard box, headed away, and then beaten away by Tempest. It's out for a throw. We're going to see what's going to be put up on the board, but we've had just 10 seconds of normal time left here. The referee, the fourth official down here, just going through the various permutations. The ball's played up long and it's found Hurst on the edge of the D. Hurst into the penalty area, plays it out here towards Boschel plays it back here and it's in. Oh no, it's headed off the line by Beavers and then over the top, and it was an effort from Rob Atkinson, who'd stayed forward after he got the ball back from Nicky Boschel. It's going to be a corner to Guiseley, but it was headed off the line there by Beavers. Lee Beavers was in the right place as the goalkeeper came out to deal with Nicky Boschel. Now we've got a corner on the left flank. It's floated in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's headed on and claimed by the goalkeeper. Oh, and it looks like it's going to be another one of those days where you think what might have been.
Absolutely. 4 minutes of added time to go though. But as you say, that was a really good bit of play from Nicky Boschel, who pulled the ball back to Rob Atkinson, who took a really good swing at it. But you've got to give credit to Lee Beavers there for the defending, because it was the perfect positioning from his point of view to deny Guiseley that equaliser.
The Lions still on the ball now. Toulson on the right-hand side finds Hurst. It's a very heavy ball played into him. He does well to control. It's tackled. Throw to Guiseley on the halfway line. Toulson wants to take it a few yards further along. He's going to have to get on with it, really, because the clock is ticking. Guiseley might just yet force another opportunity like that once again. Toulson up here to Hurst. Hurst flicks it on. Headed away. Hatfield nodded up in the air. Hurst with the flick on. Up towards Boys. Boys nods on into the penalty area. Toulson wins the ball back long into the box. Fined by Dickinson, but he can't lay it off into any yellow shirts around him. It's hoisted clear. Danny Hall wins the header. Finds Nicky Boschel. Boschel down to the left-hand side. Low, forward from left back. Gets the ball into the box. McComb gets a bit of a touch on it. Jake Lawler helps it on. Hurst at the back post. He's falling as he goes to strike it and plays it behind the goal and behind for a goal kick. That probably was the last chance, I would think. 2 more minutes to go, but
that was a massive chance, though, wasn't it, for James Hurst? And he was stretching and falling and put it a few inches wide of the upright. The big question for me, though, is Guiseley played really well for the last 25 minutes or so. Why the hell didn't we start playing like this sooner? Because I expect Mark's going to come out and say we're giving a good account of ourselves. Second half of the second half, yes. But the first half, we just never got going. If we'd have played like this for more of the game, we can see that, the opportunities can be opened up there in this Lincoln defence.
40 seconds that took from the ball going behind to it being recovered to it being put into the goal kick area. 40 seconds. That's some classic time wasting, that. Guiseley win the ball back, and now Rob Atkinson has to dribble past an on-rushing attacker. Guiseley get the ball up towards the edge of the D. In comes Nicky Boschel once again. Bush under pressure. He manages to deal with it though and get it away well. And a good little flick there from Hawkridge. Now the Lincoln City are on the counter-attack. Hawkridge down the left-hand side. Danny Hall comes across. The ball's played across in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Surely McDade was offside, but the linesman's flag was down. The ball's cleared by Drench up towards the edge of the 18-yard box at the other end, but again, Guiseley can't manage to win possession, and this game, I should think, has just got the last 30 seconds or so on it. You feel like it's going to produce a goal at one end or the other at the moment. Very stretched now. Hall Last few seconds of the game. Plays it out to the left-hand side. Danny Lowe chests it down, out to the touchline. Can he get the ball into the box? He needs to do something with it. Plays it out here to Hurst. Hurst has got it. Onside. Hurst on the left-hand flank. Gives it to Lowe. Lowe on the overlap. Gets down to the byline. Can he get the cross in? He can. It's headed away, though, by McComb. Doesn't find the target. And then Hurst bundles into the Lincoln man on that far side and concedes the free kick. He will no doubt have an injury there that needs some tending to for a few moments.
To be fair, I think the challenge from Hurst there, he shouldn't necessarily have come in, because all it's done is given them the opportunity to stay down and to, dare I say, milk this.
Oh, absolutely. That's naturally what you would do in their position.
We must be a fair bit over the 4 now, though.
Yeah, we are now.
At least he's adding it on.
40 seconds over the 4. And referee, to be fair, has tried to keep things moving today, and I don't think he's had a bad game. It's a couple of big decisions, though, that I'm sure Mike Bauer will probably have a few thoughts on, in particular the Chris Bush incident in the first half. I couldn't call that.
Yeah.
But
I think Lincoln fans would argue Danny Hall should have been booked a lot sooner. We probably could agree with that.
And the ball's up towards the edge of the 18-yard box as Lincoln have one last chance perhaps to get a second and finish this game up. McDade into the penalty area, takes a shot, it's blocked. But I don't think guys are going to have enough time to get it up the other end. It's won back here by Hawkridge. Good tackle comes in from Hatfield. Full-time whistle goes. And it's that same old situation, isn't it, for Guiseley? Come to the big club, play a brilliant performance during the second half of that second half. But in the end, come away with nothing. It's finished here, Lincoln City 1, Guiseley 0.
Simply put, too little of a performance, far too late. You know, we got ourselves into it, but there was just too little time to go. With 24 minutes, I mean, we worked it out, and it was what, 60 something before we tested Paul Farman, and you know, you can't do that really. You can't have a game of football where you're not testing the opposition keeper until the 60 somethings minute.
Yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it?
The first half, you know, don't get me wrong, Lincoln played well in the first half, but we could have done something about that. You know, Guiseley going forward in the first half didn't give a great deal to show for themselves. Went behind, glimpses were there with, you know, balls that came in and through the box. Nobody there gambling on the end of it. And as I say, it wasn't until the changes in the second half that Guiseley really actually looked lively in any sense of the word. So, all in all, I'm going to be very interested to see what Mark has to say, because I can't help but feel he's going to be relatively pleased with the performance. But for me, there was a lot lacking in the first hour of the game from Guiseley.
Well, I mean, you can go and have a word with him after the game here, Chris. But I think he's going to be picking up on that moment in that first half. Let's just go back to that, because Chris Bush, you know, it looked like there could have been a foul on Adam Boyce through on goal. He'd have gone then, shouldn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was pretty much on the line. Probably would have been a free kick, but as you say, a very contentious decision. The only thing that for me that makes me think maybe not is the fact the boys protested, Mark Bauer protested, nobody else in yellow protested though.
Very interesting to see what he's got to say about that. But it's been another afternoon of frustration for Guiseley after a great last 20 minutes or so, where we dominated the final 20. We just didn't do anything in the first 3 quarters of that game. You know, 2/3 of the game. It was Lincoln's all the way up until then. Yeah, absolutely. I'll say we just didn't put them under pressure at all, and it got to 60-something minutes before we actually had a shot at Paul Farman. All he had to do prior to that was collect a couple of crosses with ease. So, I have to say, for me, a disappointing performance against the Lincoln side that we said beforehand were there for the taking beforehand. If we'd have upped the game from the start, we could have got some out of this. Well, let's just go through those final scores then in the games we've been following today, whilst Chris goes and takes himself down and gets some post-match reaction. It's first of all in the Championship, the games that we've been following local sides. Huddersfield 2, Cardiff 3. Bradford turned around a 1-goal deficit against Fleetwood to win 2-1. York City beat Stevenage 2-1 as well. In the Vanarama National League then, Aldershot 1, Kidderminster 0. Altrincham Dover was postponed this morning. Braintree 2, Chester 0. Cheltenham 4, Bromley 1. Eastleigh 1, Wrexham 1. Forest Green Rovers 2, Macclesfield 1. Macclesfield had led in that game, but Forest Green managed to come back and win. Gateshead 1, Grimsby 0. Gateshead winning against Grimsby. Been in fine form until then. Big game at the bottom. Halifax 1, Welling 1. Lincoln City 1, Guiseley 0. Southport Boreham Wood also postponed. Tranmere 2, Torquay 1. Woking 2, Barrow 2. Late goal in that one. Still playing there. In the Vanarama National League North, Alfreton 2, Nuneaton 2. Brackley 0, Solihull Moors 1. Chorley 1, Tamworth 1. Gainsborough Trinity 0. Bradford Park Avenue 1. Hensford 0, Curzon Ashton 3, Lowestoft 0, Stalybridge 2, Telford 1, Fylde 2, FC United 4, Harrogate Town 3. Town with 3-0 up in that game. They had a man sent off and then lost 4-3. Worcester City 2, North Ferriby 0. And then finally in the FA Cup, we've been following the tie between Bolton and Leeds United have won that one by 2-1. Here it has finished in the end, frustratingly, a 0-0 after Guiseley finally turned up in the final 20 minutes or so of this game and almost snatched an equaliser, had one cleared off the line that it wasn't to be. And again, it's a tough afternoon on the road for the Lions. On the road to Dover next week and then Woking the week after that, so it doesn't end here, but it's not the best result, but a fine last 20 minutes from Guiseley here from Sincil Bank. We will see you again. See you next time round. Cheers.